I have got to learn how to like change the music, yeah. But hello and welcome back to another conversation with Coco. I'm your host, Coco. And we got our girls today. We back in action for part two.
Part two.
Took us 2 weeks, but we back.
Look, I was just telling them I was out of town thinking with my rounds last weekend, and I was asleep at the hookah spot. So
that sounds fun.
It does.
I mean, they was doing way too much.
What you mean? Give us the PG version. This YouTube.
First of all, they were like, no limits. No limits.
No, you gotta have limits. You gotta have limits.
I'm like, bitch, we've been drinking for the past 13 hours. Like, I'm tired. Okay, we woke up. It was like 10:30 a.m. And I don't know what possessed me and my best friend to just wake up and just neck a whole bottle of champagne.
Oh, that sounds fun.
So we did that. And I don't know why we decided that was a good idea, but we did it. And she was doing too much by mixing it. I was like, you're not allowed to pour any more drinks for me at all this weekend. And she did not heed my warning because she was doing too much. Then we went to brunch. That was drinking. We came back. We drank, took a nap, woke up, drank, went out, drank some more, went to a different spot. It was too much.
I did a Kendrick.
But my anxiety meds were present and accounted for. There was no social anxiety. But I am an introvert. So my social battery was like, it was bigger than normal, but I was still like, we got to get the fuck up out of here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Luckily, my wife was there. She saved me. She was like, you want to go to Jack in the Box? And I was like, please save me. Yes, take me.
Not Jack in the Box. I've never been there.
Listen, there's no Jack in the Box here in Florida. Like, I'm a West Coast baby. I need my Jack in a Crack. So whenever I see one, we have to pull up. Big back activities, but it's okay. How was y'all's holiday weekend? The holiday our ancestors couldn't, participate in, but we barbecue anyway.
I call that particular day National Cookout Day. That's what I call it. We should get some T-shirts made for National Cookout Day. I had to go to North Carolina as well, which is my home state, for an event for my sister. And what I realized in those travels around certain family members, that I'm not chilling with them no more. And after my favorite aunt's birthday in September, I will not be attending no other family functions. Because how do we go to something that has nothing to do with me? I am just there to celebrate the guest of honor. And then somebody decides to say out their mouth, I'm verbally abusive to my child. I'm sorry, have you met my child? You've never met my child in person. So how are y'all discussing me? And so I had to pull my life together, the extra details I have to tell y'all off the live stream. But my niece went to cookout and brought her favorite auntie a cookout tray. And so once I partaked in some nice candy activities, I ate my cookout tray. It was cold, but it was still good. And I watched Scandal and fell asleep. So other than those things, we had a decent weekend. I didn't do nothing on the 4th. We went to Chipotle. So because I wasn't dirty.
Chipotle still slaps.
Yeah, I just wanted a Chipotle bowl. And because I was like, I'm not cooking on National Cookout Day. Like, we could go out. Like, so that's what we did. And we've just been shenanigating. But the boys start summer school tomorrow, or summer session, as they say it. And I got to go mommy tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning with some principals because they didn't do right things towards my child. And I'm not happy with it. So y'all say a prayer for those people.
I was going to say, I'll say a prayer for you. And then you said those people.
No, say a prayer for them. A prayer for them.
They going to need it.
They absolutely going to need it. But Ari, what you do?
Well, as both of y'all know, I had a illness. I had an upper respiratory infection. So I spent most of last week recovering from that. So I didn't do anything super important.
You did
on National Cookout Day, but healed.
You rested.
That's important.
Well, I wouldn't even say necessarily rest. because your girl back in school, so.
Oh, your classes started back?
Mm-hmm.
Things
and it started real slow, and then it just came out of nowhere. So, like, that's what I was doing.
Aww. Well, are you feeling better?
For the white man. Yeah, I feel a whole lot better.
That's good.
That's good. Well, now that we're all in a good mood, let us all just,
I'm sorry, Coco. You make me laugh. I love you for it. Thank you.
Look, I'm gonna give the same disclaimer as last week. This is gonna be a very, very biased review. If you want neutrality, you better go somewhere else. Find someone else to do it, because I'm not gonna do it.
Me neither.
Like I said last week before I even listened to this, and I'm saying it again because they confirmed it. All 4 of them nogs on the screen are worthy of being dragged, and I feel like this particular part, we drugged them last time, but I feel like this is gonna be the part where we're gonna have a lot to say. I gave them kudos last time for sectioning this off, but we soon found that was not very helpful. So whenever Umar has a good stopping fucking point, because he just keeps going and going and going and going.
Energizer bunny. Like the Energizer bunny.
We'll find good. We'll let it play for a little bit, because again, I haven't listened to this, and I wasn't gonna put myself through that. I'm sorry, I just wasn't.
I think Ari's the only one that's seen it all the way through, because I didn't stress myself either.
I wouldn't say I saw it all the way through. I just, because it has like chapters.
Yeah, I was skipping through parts of it. It's like, look, I don't want to hear what you have to say about this topic. Let me.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's stupid. I already know what you're gonna say about that. I already know what you're talking about that. Let's get to the part where I kept coming in on my For You page. Let's hear that one from beginning to end.
So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna continue the road to figuring out how the fuck we got here, because I'm still confused how the fuck we got here.
I am too.
Any hopes, desires for the future?
I'm just hoping that we don't get off of this live as stressed as we did at the end of the last one from part 1. I hope he, with all of the words that come out of his face, we get to it quickly, and then we can, chat it up. Oh, but this says 1 hour and 5 minutes. Jesus. Okay, Lord. All right.
And I'm just gonna tell the audience that are listening to us. Here's the thing. I do not approve of any of the things that Dr. Umar Johnson believes. But
those were capital mark air quotes.
Because as a person who is getting their EDD in educational psychology, and he's supposed to have a PhD in psychology, we're not studying the same things.
They studying different books.
So I'm not going to be nice about anything that I have to say about that man, because I haven't liked that man since he came on to the scene.
Oh, Father God. Okay. Y'all want to bow your heads and touch and agree for a minute? Get our mental health together. I'm joking. Go ahead, Coco.
Side note, I have to say this. Side note. You know how Facebook gives you, oh, look at what you said 10 years ago.
Oh, God.
Yikes.
So I had one of those that was like, if you're a friend of mine and you follow Dr. Umar Johnson, stop being my friend. And I reposted that, and I was like, it's still a
look at us.
You know what? And I'm glad you stayed consistent, friend. I'm glad you stayed consistent, because some people are not consistent at all.
Girl.
Them Facebook flashbacks be getting me.
Yes.
Right. Like, how stupid was I at 21? That was dumb.
No. Side note, I cussed somebody out 12 years ago, and I reposted it and tagged my cousin. I said, who was I talking about? She inboxed me. She said, our other cousin. I said, oh, I'm cool with her now. Let me go delete that. So
listen, that's the one thing about it. Who was I talking about?
Y'all, is Kenneth in the chat?
Who?
Y'all, is Kenny in the chat, or are we clear? You hear me, Coco?
Oh my God. I hope Kenny.
Well, I want him to come back. I hope he has something to say.
Kenny ain't got shit to add to this conversation but fluff
and foolishness. But I just wondered.
I told him, hopefully this past 14 days he's been collecting lots of cans. All right. Anyway, I'm going on mute because we gonna start now.
Okay. Mute.
I'm gonna get off Kenny's neck one time, I guess. I don't know.
That might be most black people. Love ain't love for most white folks. Everything white people do has a political purpose. Everything white people do has a political purpose. Ain't no love is love with white folks.
Would we be considered racist if we only date within our race?
No, that's what you call race loyalty. And racism is a group system of exploitation, discrimination, oppression, bias, where one group seeks to deny all members of another group their fair share of resources, opportunities, and privileges. You know why you can't be a racist? You don't own a damn thing white people need in order to live. True. White people need you for nothing, but you need them. Whose schools our kids go to? Theirs.
True.
Our money in whose banks? Theirs. Who's building the houses we need to rent and buy? Them. Who's shipping our stuff around the world that we need to order to live? Them. You follow me? They don't need us. We need them for everything. We are as dependent on white people today as we were when slavery ended 157 years ago. And black people got to be careful about raising the importance of other people's issues to our own. Because by doing that, you reduce the quality of your own fight.
Right.
Because nobody else has been through what you've been through here. Everybody in America showed up as an immigrant. We're the only people who showed up as imports. Why would you dare make the gay struggle equal? Why would you dare make the Arab or Asian struggle equal? Ridiculous. When those Asian women were murdered in Atlanta, which was a tragedy, and I didn't have a problem with the president making a law against it. But my problem was you had about 8 to a dozen Asian women get murdered in one night. And it was as a result of one night. One night. The president and vice president flew down to Atlanta and met with the Asian community. He passed an executive order almost overnight. A congressional bill came, anti-Asian hate, unanimously passed. Almost overnight. My issue with that, one Asian tragedy, they get a personal meeting with the president and vice president. They get an executive order. They get a federal law that makes it illegal to even use a racial slur. We've been here 400 years. You ain't never flew down and met with us face to face after no tragedy. When that damn devil walked into that supermarket in Buffalo, New York and murdered those Africans, when Dylann Roof walked into that church in Charleston, South Carolina, murdered those Africans, we didn't even get a face-to-face meeting from the president of the United States, who was black at the time, Barack Obama. But this is what you do for the Asians? And then you sign an executive order? And then you sign an anti-Asian hate? Where's the anti-black hate?
I don't want to sound dumb, but, you know, they would have to deal with their people. Who do we have that would support us?
I agree with you. The reason they responded to the Asians the way that they did is
they got somebody to call home.
Absolutely. You have China, you have Japan,
who do black Americans have to call?
Who have political power.
Yes.
That America has relationships with that they can't afford to lose.
Exactly.
And you will have to answer. There will be political, economic consequences for letting our people get mistreated in your land. We don't have that. And the reason we don't have that is because we have not helped to build a single African state into the power base we need her to be so she can speak out for us. We have used our money to empower all these nationalities and use almost none of it to empower Africa, the very continent we need to do what you just said, be strong enough to be a diplomatic voice for American Africa.
But this is why I asked you before which one is more important to fix first, because if we had that power behind us, wouldn't it be easier for us to make moves over here?
If we had that power in Africa, absolutely. But we're not building the power, though. In other words, we should be in Africa right now. I'm sending you to Ghana. I'm sending you to Nigeria. I'm sending you to Namibia. I'm going to go to Ethiopia. We're going to sit down with the president. Listen, we are $2 trillion people. We need you to be able to speak up for us.
Would it be hard to get dual citizenship?
What are the economic slave chains that America has around your economy? What are the economic slave chains America has around your economy? And what could we do with our education and income to weaken those chains so one day they can fall? Africa would love to do business with us instead of the World Bank or the International Monetary Fund or the French government or the Belgian government or the German government. They would rather do the business with us. But the problem with Black folks, we are comfortable and content being American slaves. We're not looking at the global ramifications of our irresponsible behavior. We're not looking at the global needs of our people. We are content with this America the way that it is. We are comfortable being treated like 21st century slaves. Because if we were not, with the resources we waste every day, we would be going crazy. Go down your social media feed. Does it look like Black America's in a crisis? Go down your YouTube. Does it look like Black America's in a crisis? Right. Go through your Twitter.
True.
Go in. If you did not know how racist America was, and you went to Black Twitter, Black Instagram, Black TikTok, Black
Nothing
YouTube,
important there.
could you tell?
No.
Don't it look like we live in the best times of our lives? Because Black people are like overgrown children. Slavery arrested our psychopolitical development. Slavery arrested our psychopolitical development. The slave system turned us into eternal children in this country. What do children do? They spend their money on the things that they like, and they beg their parents for the things that they need. Is that not Black America? $2 billion on Air Jordans every year.
You're right.
$4 billion on liquor, $30 billion on hair and beauty, nearly $1 billion on chicken, turkey, beef, and pork, multiple billion on video games, multiple million on children's cologne. Children's cologne. Check this out. We spent about we spent about $21 million on children's cologne a year.
Wow.
What the fuck is children's cologne?
You know, baby Polo, baby Versace. They got children's cologne. But half the Black boys in America in 4th grade can't read on their grade level.
That's a fact.
Half the Black boys in America in 8th grade can't read on their grade level. But we spending $21 million on cologne. I don't excuse nothing another race does to my people. Because as a human being, you should be able to practice decency, whether you're dealing with a billionaire or somebody who's dead, broken, homeless on the street. You understand me?
Definitely.
But we have to look in the mirror too and look at how we make it easy for people to disrespect us. Because how does a people in your condition have the time to engage in this type of tomfoolery over here? Do you feel me?
Yeah.
If I'm Chinese looking at Black America, how do I make sense out of this? Right. Y'all can't care about yourselves because as much as you talk about reparations and as much as you talk about the next presidential election, look at the money you waste. Imagine a Korean walk into a Black community meeting on reparations, a Korean, and stand up and say, can I ask y'all a question? Why y'all in here arguing over reparations when y'all done turn my people into $1 trillion nation? I make $30 billion off y'all people a year. $30 billion a year. How much have we give the Koreans over the past 30 years? What's 30 billion times 30 years? Are you talking about reparations? You see that? But Black people are in denial about our self-hate. I tell Black women all the time, if you would just stop hating the way God made you, you can take your $30 billion a year and build an independent school for every Black girl out here. You could stop child sex trafficking. Black women could wipe out child sex trafficking for Black girls by taking some of that $30 billion on here. But guess what? How I look is way more important than the condition of my people. Black men, same thing. We could take the $4 billion on liquor, the $2 billion on Air Jordans, the multiple billion we spend on vacations, all the money we spend on these damn non-Black women. We could take that money and build Black schools for Black boys all over the
clubs.
But I want to know, we can't.
So let me get this straight.
How?
So the niggas get to build schools with their money, but we gotta stop pedophiles from being pedophiles and predators from being predators and stop sex trafficking. At what point was that Black woman's responsibility?
That was my question.
Right.
Everything that he's saying doesn't make sense. And this is why I said to my friends, back when, I think it was like 2010 when I said it, and I'm saying it now in 2023, this man is not to be trusted. Why are we listening to a man that has absolutely no idea what he's talking about? He likes to use a lot of buzzwords because if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, maybe I was watching a different news organization outlet, but wasn't Obama at the Charleston funeral? Didn't he sing Amazing Grace?
I thought he did.
Oh, okay. And wasn't that not on national TV?
Yes.
So what does he mean that Obama didn't step in? Secondly, Trump was the president doing.
I'm not remembering this wrong, but I'm sure when that white man went to that grocery store, that was definitely
Trump.
Orange one.
That was Trump. That's just like white people that say that Obama was a part of 9/11 and he was nowhere in any kind of office federally. That I'm telling you, that man is a white supremacist. He's anti-Black, but he puts on this cape and make it seem like he's pro-Black, but he says a lot of anti-Black things, like I can't go buy hair. Because I could be building a school. What I need to build a school for?
He don't even have a school that he been fundraising for the past 15 years.
I'm
so confused. I don't even know where the fuck to begin, or if I don't even know what the fuck. I don't know.
I'm confused on how he got to some of these points. How is it the black women who need to stop the trafficking? What's the game plan look like? Since he seems to act like he has all the answers, what does that game plan look like exactly? Because
I mean, if you think about it logically, if it was from a place of information, right? If you're going to stop sex trafficking, you're going to have to work with the police system at the local, state, federal, and possibly international level. So you want us to give our money to the CIA and the FBI, like,
and I think we do that in this thing.
You want us to like go buy some damn bulletproof vests and weapons and go get the girls back ourselves? Like, what are we doing with the what?
And if that's something that black women can do, why aren't the black men doing it?
Right? Why are the men building schools and the women out here trying to stop sex trafficking?
But if we use,
they think we're Rambo. I really feel like they think we're like the Terminator, Rambo, G.I. Jane, Mighty Morphin, Mega Power Ranger. Like, what are these niggas doing? What are these niggas doing? Like, what?
Telling us we need to worry about taking care of them.
Tell them we shouldn't be stressed about our appearance because we're so worried about our appearance that we're giving into a system that's not paying back into us. However, they've been arguing about lace fronts for 2 years on TikTok. So I'm just really wondering, or they want the girl that look like Kim Kardashian, but Kim Kardashian in her natural state with makeup. But we not like, and don't talk about us fat girls because oh my Lord,
it's like
he can't.
It's like I here's the thing here's why Umar, or I said last week, y'all remember back in elementary school when you were learning math and you would get points for showing your work and choosing the answer. And sometimes you would do the wrong work but get the right answer, or do the wrong work, and vice versa, and all that kind of stuff. I feel like when Umar talks, there's really no point. He's just saying a whole bunch of shit that sound good, but that actually do not go together. There is something to be said for what he is saying, but he's mixing them in a way where they don't correlate. There's not going to be any harmony in what he is saying because he's speaking about different things rolled up into one. If he would stop, focus on one thing at a time, you could have adequate conversations about all of these things.
Because
there's
all
a
of
conversation.
What? Huh? Oh, I was saying because all of these things do not fit in the same umbrella. When we're talking about the literacy rate in Black boys, it has nothing to do with sex trafficking.
Correct.
Like, or generational wealth for that matter either.
Exactly.
And if we're gonna
where are we going with this? Well, it sounds good because he's speaking with conviction and he has some authority behind it. But where are we going with this?
If it's that simple and Black women can do it, why aren't the quote unquote protectors and leaders of the Black community doing it? Why is this now a conversation where again it's passing off all this responsibility on what Black women could be doing to get done with trafficking? However, we can't get the men to listen to the women who are saying they're being abused by their homeboys. So y'all are saying that the Black femicide rate is a lie. So like, explain to me how do you expect that to work? Because some of the males in our demographic don't even believe that we're telling the truth about the abuse that is clearly happening because of the trafficking. But y'all won't confront those men verbally. So y'all want the women to go confront the sex traffickers.
They think
what
we're
are y'all
Rambo.
doing? Making bucks?
I really feel like they think that like we're some like because apparently it was us in the government that put them wherever position that they're in. So like clearly we're just like, we have all this training that we can just go into things and just extract people and have this resources and wherewithal to locate the sex trafficking rings and all that. Apparently we have all of that information at our fingertips.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm so confused.
So what about the $2 billion that the men are spending on Jordans? What can they do with that money? Because he brought that up too.
And I want him to also understand.
He said build schools.
And I want him to
build schools.
Him as a school psychologist should know that it takes more than just having money to build a school. You need a curriculum. You need people that know how to teach the curriculum. You need to have every bit of funding lined up, because that $200 million may just be for the building itself. We're not even talking about providing materials for the school. We're not talking about paying the teachers. We're not talking about any kind of like networking issues you may have. We're not talking about none of that. Say it's the man that is trying to build his own school.
And I don't know much about building buildings. I don't pretend to act like I do. I just like to watch HGTV. However, I've only seen them build houses, but from what I remember, you gotta have the land and you have to get the permits to build, and you have to make sure that you have access to the electrical and water to build before you can even break land to build said house. So I'm pretty sure that some of those steps also apply in building a school. Like, do y'all even own the land? Or do you have the liquid assets to purchase the land for the school? And when you buy the land, did you get it checked first? Because y'all don't even like to go to the doctor. So I'm pretty sure nobody checked to make sure that the land was viable for this building for these black boys, because he don't mention the black girls, to go to school.
No, because we have to build schools for them.
Oh, okay. But then it's our fault if the boys is messed up. Okay, all right,
Okay. Before we proceed, I want to go back over this question or this notion that, because he was talking about, the AAPI law that was passed and Joe Biden's response to that, blah, 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 blah. And I just had the question, why are we continuously asking our oppressor to humanize and elevate us? Because I thought it was because the community, the Asian and Pacific Islander community, was like, y'all need to fix this shit and fix it fast.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they had plans, they had coins set aside, they had someone go on behalf of them that know how to speak in those arenas and not just outside yelling. But I'm pretty sure that was because they demanded that. And I'm confused. And also because I'm like, you're talking about reparations in places where it doesn't belong. And I'm just like, why do you care about what people are looking at our community and talking about? Like, why do you want all these things to just come at your doorstep without doing any work? Like, I'm so lost and I'm so confused.
I just would like to know what it would look like wholeheartedly for them to actually execute some shit and not use us as a thing or an example or an excuse or a reason. Like,
it's never going to happen.
Well, we know that, but hypothetically, with your caps locks air quotes that you used earlier, hypothetically caps locks air quote, what would y'all do if blaming black women was not an option? Because everything he's saying,
first of all, hold on. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But girl, this is not synthetical. This is human hair. I dyed this last week. This is not synthetic. Girl, this is Peruvian.
Because see, Coco, you only care about your aesthetics. You don't care about the community.
Yeah, the community.
You're an attorney.
I could have took the $400 I paid for this hair and could have invested in stopping sex trafficking.
Yes, you could have.
Wow, my priorities are all types of fucked up.
It is.
Know. It's so unfortunate.
How dare you? How dare we sit here? How dare we sit here and say Dr. Umar is so
alleged doctor?
Well, no, remember I told y'all the last time we did it, I did do some research and somebody actually took the time and money to find out that this man, in fact, does hold a PhD.
I just want to know, did it come from ICDC college, though?
I don't know.
Before Master P went out of music. But that's neither here nor there.
I can't. I am unable. Let us get back into this. I feel like we got some more nonsense to say, and I'm going to come back with my renewed migraine.
Okay, well, we're going on mute. Because it's, oh, Lord. We only 8 minutes in, Jesus. I thought we was 30 minutes in. God.
That's what I'm saying. We could have done this back to back with both of them. We just couldn't.
There's no way.
It wasn't going to happen.
There's no way.
We'd be stressed out in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, we would have had to get some pillows and pallets and make this a sleepover. Because there's no way to get both of them together. Okay,
I'm going to play it for at least. Let me get to 15. And hopefully he'll be at a good stopping point.
That's a long time to hear him talk.
I'm sorry. Take your notes.
Oh my God. Okay, can we try 12?
Take your notes.
Let's try 12.
Okay.
Okay, let's try 12. We can do it,
okay.
Y'all. I believe in y'all.
Oh my goodness.
We can't. I mean, I don't want to say we can't change that, but that's we're surrounded by it. It's like every block has a liquor store. Every block has sneaker store.
That don't mean you have to partake.
No, I agree with that 100%.
Where is the discipline?
It's so hard for the people that don't know better.
Discipline. But we do know better. We do. Even the most politically uneducated black person knows there's something better I could be doing with this money. Do you feel me?
I agree.
We are comfortable in our oppression. And the reason we're comfortable in it is the white man has allowed us enough of his useless amusements to content us with our oppression. We got the cell phone, social media, NBA playoffs. We have enough. See, black poverty ain't the same as African poverty. It ain't the same as Caribbean African poverty. It ain't the same as Brazilian African poverty. Our poverty is damn near middle to upper class in most other places. Do you understand me? And so because we don't have it as bad as other people, we think we winning when we losing. We think we win when we lose.
Is that why, when the Africans or the Caribbeans come over here and they be like, yo, you know what? Y'all got it easy. Like, you know what I mean? Y'all just being lazy.
Compared to what they come from.
Right, yeah.
And when they come, they take advantage of whatever they can do. So they'll work at the taxi, they'll work at the airport security, right? And they'll save that money and they will send it back home. Many of them come over there to hustle and to send the money back home. And I don't have no problem with them doing that. You understand? But what I do need the African immigrant brother and sister to understand, America will give you opportunity that she will never give me because you are not a threat. You can be 100%. Deported whenever they feel like it.
True.
You can be stripped of your American citizenship or your green card whenever they feel like it. They can strip me of my citizenship, but where do they send me? Nowhere. We are the only people that cannot be deported. And that's why America can't stand us, even though she's the reason she can't get rid of us.
So I know you said earlier that you don't want to beg anybody to be a part of the movement.
Yes,
right?
Or the race.
Right. So, but it just seems like a lot of people are ignorant to what's going on here. So it wouldn't be begging. I just think they need to be educated. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
I think they're ignoring it.
I don't disagree totally. You have Negroes and you have coons.
Okay.
The Negro is completely ignorant. He would respond to what you just suggested. Take a Negro who think white people are everything. White women are beautiful. White people are more intelligent. Black people are lazy. He's a Negro. He's been miseducated. You educate him, you can bring him back into the revolution, right? He was just a Negro. He didn't know. But then you got the coon. The coon knows that the white man ain't better. The coon knows that black people are the original people. But he's paid and financed to intentionally
I'm sorry, I gotta pause, bro.
We got the 12.
It's like we got the Negroes, the coons.
Not Negro and not coon.
Bro, are we at Hogwarts? I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know if I'm a nigger or a coon. And what is he?
I guess that he ain't neither one of those because of the revolution. The revolution that ain't got anything completed. Like the revolution hadn't got anything completed. They all want to be the tribe of Israel so damn bad. I can't.
I don't understand why they want to be something that they're never going to be. You're never going to be that. It's not for you. This is not. You're not it. Your heritage will not link back to Israel. You're not a Hebrew. My name is Hebrew, but I'm not Hebrew. It just so happens that's where the name originated from. Why do y'all continuously think that y'all are the chosen people of God? You're not from there.
And I just, when I
if
almost
that's the case, we wouldn't be slaves. We wouldn't have been slaves, and we wouldn't be in America. If we're Israelites, we wouldn't be in America.
We'd have a country to go back to. We'd have a country to go back to.
Oh God.
I promise. That little bit of time I was dumb.
It makes me so angry.
That time I was dumb and was about to marry Israelite, was about to convert, and then I realized what was going on, and then he messed up and they threw him out the church. I was like, I didn't know church could throw you out, but okay. I realized in that young 18-year-old mind of mine, when I still believed in rainbows and butterflies, that they didn't know what they was talking about back then. I'm 36 now. They still don't know what they talking about now. They want to be everything but what they are, the descendants of African American slaves. Y'all want to be everything but that. The texture of his
contradicts himself
every time. Every time, like clockwork.
I really just don't have no words. Like, I'm gonna just be in shock and awe this entire. I feel just.
What also makes me mad about this whole exchange, right? This whole conversation, right? None of these other nigglets know what's going on.
Nope, they're just sitting there.
So they only can go off of what he says because he has a PhD, and in their mind, he is the most educated man that they have ever came across.
Correct.
That's scary.
It is.
And it says Barbara Black because I could have sworn like low fades and lineups was so that you can look more presentable when it comes down to what white people accept in society. So should Umar be getting haircuts too? I'm just wondering. Because he got a line up there, and I thought, like, you know, when they tell people to look more presentable, they're referencing us not using our regular hair. Like, we need to maintain and tame things down. So shouldn't he be like all natural at this point? God's chosen one? I'm just wondering. And is that white Jesus or is that black Jesus with the locks? Ooh. I'm just wondering. I have questions. Or is that Jesus from the produce department? Sir, you're talking so much, I'm confusion.
I'm gonna let him talk. I'm confused.
Got a boot on his foot.
Yeah, I seen that.
I'm so slow.
So he's damaged mentally and physically. That's horrible.
With white pants on. Who told him that was okay?
I'm
sorry.
Please.
Okay.
Please.
All right.
Please.
We're gonna go on mute.
Okay. Yes. I'm going. We're going to what? We going to like 17 now. We can do it, y'all. We can do it.
Whenever the spirit moves me, I guess, because I am flabbergasted.
Immigrants, opportunities in America. Wow. Okay. And then they get over here and realize they Negroes too. I'm just saying.
Do people know that the vast majority of immigrants that come here are either refugees, you know, people that y'all like to be xenophobic against coming over the border, they're fleeing for their lives, or they have the money to leave their country voluntarily.
Which
so
is
all
most of these Africans, they get the lottery.
So the people that are talking about are taking our opportunities. They are not middle class people here or in their country. Be fucking for real. As an educated black woman who's been in college with a lot of Africans,
they're coming from Ethiopia. They're coming from Ghana. They're coming from Nigeria. And they're coming from very affluent families.
Right.
I went to a historical black college where I seen Africans and they had money.
Yep.
And they were going to school to be nurses, pre-med, engineering,
lawyers. Like, be fucking for real.
Like, they weren't driving around no damn taxi cab.
No.
What are you talking about?
No. My best friend from high school through college, we fell out, but it's okay. Still got love for you, girl. She's not Nigerian. Her parents came over here. They had several businesses. They built a house, like you see them big ass houses over there. They built one in Seattle, Washington, from the ground up. People that come here really and truly, they're not coming here to be middle class. I'm sorry. That's just not how it works.
No.
It's just not.
But let him cook.
It's giving real. They're coming here and taking our jobs, which is like you weren't enrolled in the classes anyway.
No.
Because didn't he just say 3 minutes ago that most black boys or whatever he said don't read past the 4th grade level, or if they're in 4th grade, they can't read to that same level? You weren't enrolled in the classes anyway. They're not taking anything from you. They have the money and the grades and the resources to be here out of pocket.
Yeah.
No scholarship. No handout. Well, my black ass,
if it is a scholarship, it's probably full ride because they are so gifted.
That or they play tennis.
Which means they have the status, which means, again, they ain't coming here to be middle class.
He uses the 4th graders as the talking point. Where was their daddies at? Where was their mentors at? Why are they reading below a 4th grade level? Period. Where were y'all at?
First off, I bet you every last one of those men that's sitting on this panel right now probably don't read past a 8th grade reading level. And that's why they listening to this man.
Because they think he's the one.
Because they think he knows every goddamn thing and he knows absolutely nothing. Am I wrong? Okay, I'm wrong because Coco covered her mouth. I'm sorry. This is why I'm saying. That's why I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched.
That's why we be evil twin, because she.
I love
if it's not me, it's her.
I love it. I love when y'all evil twins.
But no, it's just like it. I think it shocks me, and this may come off really, really bad. It shocks me because I don't know what bubble I was living in before, but I didn't realize that we are this uneducated as a country as badly as we are.
Mm-hmm. It was the No Child Left
Behind. And then there's a difference, because look, there's a difference between knowing something academically and having to encounter its effects in real life.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot for me sometimes. I be like, y'all cannot be this dense, but it's like, no, we can be, because it's a provable fact that the vast majority of us don't understand a lot of things.
You know how, Coco, when we're getting ready to do these conversations, you normally will send us like this outline. And you normally have questions on the outline. It's like, hey, I was thinking about this question. I was thinking about that question. Y'all give me some feedback. Here are all of the articles that I've already found. Like, you're texting me and was like, hey, did you find something? And I sent it to you. And you like, okay, that's great. You notice how they don't even have their phones out.
No, they're hanging on every word.
They ain't got no laptops. They ain't got no links.
Well, the one with the black and white hair, he got his phone out, but it looked like he texting.
He texting a bitch.
Girl, he ain't paying attention. He is not paying attention.
He is not worried about.
Look at this one. Look at this one. The wheels are turning.
Look at the one over.
Oh, y'all can't even see who I'm circling. This one over here in the closest to Umar. He looks so intense.
The one,
and the one sitting across from him with the boot is like,
Yes, this makes sense now. Yeah, I get it. I
never thought about it like that. So there's coons and there's Negroes. I never knew that. I didn't know that was how we classify us as African Americans, Black Americans.
It's like Umar also always takes shit a little too far. Like we were already living in a stereotype, and here you come saying there's Negroes and there's coons.
That's just like when he went on Roland Martin's show, when Roland Martin used to be on TV One. And he was sitting there calling his panelists Negroes, and Roland Martin was like, "You can, if you call one more person out their name, I'm
I
pretty
love
sure.
Umar.
Always be hating me. Oh my God. Okay, let's see what you got to say.
He won't do that.
Martin would get him together again because that would be amazing.
Umar never talks to anyone who's smarter than him.
Oh no, absolutely not.
And that's scary because you don't know everything.
That part.
He has some tendencies of a narcissist.
Oh, I'm gonna let him talk because
I'm
about to break out my emergency emotional mango because he finna get on my nerves. And we're only 12 minutes in.
All right,
y'all.
All right.
Mislead his people. The Negro I can work with because I can educate him out of his situation.
Right.
The coon is dangerous. The coon has stabbed me in my back the minute I turned my back. And that's why many of our African leaders from around the world have been betrayed by members of their inner circle. Patrice Lumumba, murdered by a friend. Thomas Sankara, murdered by a stepbrother. Malcolm X, murdered by people he trusted. Dr. King, set up by people he trusted. When you look at the Black struggle globally, because you got to look at all of our heroes and sheroes, not just the ones here. Many of them were set up and sabotaged by people they grew up with and who they trusted. Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown in Ghana with the assistance of his college roommate at Lincoln University in Pennsylvania. The State Department found his roommate, sent him to Ghana to help overthrow his roommate, who was the first democratically elected president in Africa post-colonization.
That's like the Fred Hampton story I've seen recently.
Right. Now, that informant wasn't a friend of Fred Hampton, but to your point, he weaved his way into his trust, sold him out, gave the FBI a drawing of Fred Hampton's apartment, drugged his Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
You understand? So when you get in this movement for Black liberation, you don't have no friends.
I have a quick question for you that may be personal. Do you feel like, since you're a big impact to the Black community, that you're in danger?
I'd say this. I get death threats on a regular basis. I know the FBI and CIA tapped my phone. They've been doing it since my first trip to Africa, 2005. There's about 6 people who come around me on a regular basis who I'm pretty certain are paid agents. Some of the women who have expressed interest in me over the past 6 months, I definitely believe that they are paid agents. But I'm gonna say this to you. When I look at Malcolm and Martin, and I listen to their friends who survived them, they often talk about how those 2 great Black leaders, 2 of my heroes, got to a point in their life where they were so spiritually and emotionally exhausted from the threat of death that they felt they secretly wished for it to come to get it over with.
It's like always looking over your shoulder kind of situation.
They got tired of it.
Right.
Dr. King got tired of it. Malcolm got tired of it. And I think they asked the Lord, just make sure when they hit me, they don't hit my daughter and children, my wife and children. You feel me? I don't ever want to get to the point where I'm that fatigued from the threat that it takes away my commitment to the struggle. Now, they never lost the commitment to the struggle. But they basically died before they died, if you understand what I'm saying. Because once you psychologically exhausted with the threat of death, there's nothing else to live for. I'm still struggling, but I'm not enjoying my life. My wife can't really enjoy me. My kids can't really enjoy me because my mind has become beaten down with the prospect of death. Remember, they bombed Dr. King house twice. They bombed Malcolm house the day before a week before he died, right? I don't ever want to get like that. So I discipline myself. I practice traditional African spirituality. I try to stay as rooted as possible. I need to do a better job, but that's my walk. The biggest thing that insulates me, though, is I believe I was born to do what I did, what I'm doing. I don't believe I was born to be nothing else but what I am right now. And because I believe that I'm on a God-given mission, and because I believe that the ancestors are helping me as much as possible to achieve the goals that I have in mind for my people, which is ultimately liberation for all African folks, if I die in the work, it was my destiny. And if I don't, it wasn't. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm content with whatever happens. But my comfort and peace of mind comes from knowing that this is the destiny I negotiated with God in heaven before I incarnated. So it don't really bother me.
So let me ask you this question, right? Just to go back to the dating outside your race. You once said that dating interracially is a form of self-hatred.
Absolutely.
Why do you believe that?
Absolutely. Because why do you want to stare in the face of a member of the people who have committed the greatest human atrocities against your people? These are the people.
Is that only specifically to white people, or do you mean if they date an Asian woman or Indian woman? Is that still the same?
Well, I got 2 answers. If we're dealing with white people,
right?
Why would you want one of them after what they've done to us and continue to do? Because your white girlfriend's still a racist. She still doesn't value Black life. You understand? That white man Serena Williams is married to, he don't value Black life. You understand? That white woman that took $1 billion from Tiger Woods, she don't value Black life, right? I can give you countless examples of people I've met in therapy who were called the N-word by white husbands and white wives. You understand me? White people who have sex with you. Didn't the slave master sleep with our mothers and grandmothers? So just because they land in the bed with you, what makes you think that they shed their racism? They don't. White people are racist. All white people are racist. There's no exceptions. They might not all be bigots, but they're all racist. They all want their people to dominate unfairly the resources, the opportunities, and the privileges of this society.
So
every white person.
What about the people that just say love is love, right?
Who believes love is love?
I mean, that's most people's answer.
That might be most black people. Love ain't love for most white folks. Everything white people do has a political purpose. Everything white people do has a political purpose. Ain't no love is love with white.
Would we be considered racist if we only date within our race?
No, that's what you call race loyalty. And racism is a group system of exploitation, discrimination, oppression, bias, where one group seeks to deny all members of another group their fair share of resources, opportunities, and privileges. You know why you can't be a racist? You don't own a damn thing white people need in order to live. True. White people need you for nothing, but you need them. Whose schools our kids go to? Theirs.
True.
Our money in whose banks? Theirs. Who's building the houses we need to rent and buy? Them. Who's shipping our stuff around the world that we need to order to live? Them. You follow me? They don't need us for shit. We need them for everything. We are as dependent on white people today as we were when slavery ended 157 years ago. So, in my opinion, if you talk to an integrationist, and say, how far have we come since slavery? Oh, we come very far. We got a black president. Now we got a black vice president. We got a black Supreme Court justice. We got about 10 black billionaires. We got about 100 black millionaires.
Ain't shit changing.
Because their definition of progress is based exclusively on superficial assets. Are you following me? Now that's the integrationist. Now you come to me, the nationalist, the Pan-African nationalist. How much progress have we made since slavery? Zero. But Dr. Umar, how can you say that? Black people got master's degrees, doctorate degrees, houses in white neighborhoods. We own our own businesses. We got millionaires. We got tech companies. Here's my question. To what extent are we now in a better position to protect and dictate the lives of our children today than we was when slavery ended? Let me ask it another way. When slavery ended, we owned 1/2 of 1% of all the wealth in America. Guess how much we own now? 1/2 of 1% of all the wealth in America. What the fuck has changed? Nothing at all but the appearance of things. Right. The only thing they did when they ended slavery is change the way it looked. They traded in slavery. Before the 13th Amendment, we were owned by individuals. We was the property of individual slaveholders. After the 13th Amendment, we became property of the government itself. We are slaves of the state.
So
still not free.
Let me ask you a question, because
in other words, if you walk out here right now and a police officer pulls you over and takes your life, God forbid, unjustifiably, how is that any better than you being on a plantation picking cotton and the overseer just decides to get off his horse and blow your damn brains out? 157 years apart. Was there any difference in the power dynamic? Nothing at all.
Right.
We are exactly where we were.
There's no
Power is the measuring stick, y'all. Not education, not income, not billionaires and millionaires. How many black people on TV, Obamas and Kamalas? That's irrelevant. How much power do we have to force white people to leave us the hell alone? And do we have any more now than we had in 1865?
I don't see it.
Moving. Wait, hold on. Let me ask a question real quick, because a lot of people say that Obama got in office and he did nothing for black people. Do you think he had the power to do anything when he was president?
I want to ask a question before that question. Do I think he had the power?
Yeah.
Yes and no. Major changes, he didn't have the power.
Right.
Minor changes, he did. For example, Barack Obama could have got us more black teachers. Barack Obama could have did something about the special education exploitation of our children. He could have done something about the suspensions and expulsions. He could have fought for better schools and more black educators, because everybody agrees that the schools are a problem. Do you understand? Everybody agrees that Obama didn't do nothing about that. You follow me? He could have done something about black homelessness. He didn't. Now, for the black middle class, he threw them a couple bones and allowed them to buy a house and that kind of shit, if you consider that progress, right?
Right.
But overall, did he systemically change anything for black people? Not at all. But did he systemically change anything for gay people? Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But don't you think it's easier for one to do that because of the power that they possess? Because of, I mean, there's white people, Asian people that's in that community.
Okay, possibly. But
just one thing. Does he not know how the government works?
No, he doesn't.
Not at all.
Does he not know that it's up to the school district and the state budget and
First off, let's start all the way back to just like the bare bones of it. It takes a black individual to say, you know what? I want to become a teacher. I'm going to go to school for education. So if there's not a whole bunch of black people wanting to go into the education system, then no, you will not see Black educators.
Right.
Like, that's just common sense. Like, you don't even have to have a degree to know that. It takes a person to say, I want to be X before they can be that. So if I am a Black person and I don't want to be a teacher, guess what? I'm not going to be a teacher. And it's not my fault that the school systems are failing. Why didn't he blame George W.'s No Child Left Behind Act? Because that is the downfall of the system.
But into that, it's like, we can't even do that because before it got to the president's desk, it had to pass through the proper channels first.
Exactly.
And even if the president vetoed it, I'm pretty sure they can come back and say, hey, no, we're going to put this in the law anyway. So it's like, what is with Black folk always putting the majority of responsibility on the president? Like, I know it's a figurehead. I know it's the commander in chief. And I understand that, like, it's a big deal. But when you break it down, when it comes to schooling, budgeting, policing, none of that has to do with federal anything.
I
like literally nothing to do with federal anything.
I want him to understand that he missed 3 vital chances to learn about the U.S. government. The first time is around like 3rd grade. They start talking about we have a president, and then we have a governor, and then we have a mayor. And this is what all 3 of these people do. The mayor is the president of the city. The governor is the president of the state. And the president is over the whole United States of America.
That's true.
We learned that in 3rd grade. The next time he missed was 8th grade civics. Now, 8th grade civics went a little bit deeper. Not only did we know that there's a state, local, as well as federal, then we started learning about the branches of government and what each of those branches do. And then we learned about how to budget our own personal money based upon what the rate is in the city that we lived in the state that we lived in, how to do, they taught you minor taxes in civics. And then we have, it depends, junior, senior year, you take government. And then they go over the same shit you learn in civics. But this time they tell you, you're about to turn 18 years old. And you will be up and eligible to vote. And you should vote for everything. Not just your president, not just your governor, but your mayor and your sheriff too.
That's why he made my head hurt. Because it's like, he don't know nothing.
At all.
This whole conversation is a waste of fucking time. How are you going to have solutions when you don't even know how the basics of things fucking work? If you want more teachers, encourage people to be involved with the superintendent and shit like that. Like, I don't understand.
Why don't
it probably don't make sense to me because it don't make sense in reality.
Right. Why don't he encourage some of those men to stop buying some Jordans and have some liquidatable money to form scholarships to encourage Black men and women, whoever choose, to go to school? Like, there. What if the money is not available? You know, since he wants to talk about how we waste so much money, why wasn't some of that Jordan fund used?
Or that money that you're sitting on from donations from supposed to be building a school, 10 plus years ago?
Yeah, that hasn't been built yet. Why is my child laughing so loud? What is happening?
Let me put this back on because I don't need to hurry through this because this is at this point. I just want to get to the part
where water. I need some water because he's making me thirsty.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna put it on. Let's go get a snack and some. We don't let it play because
we don't let it play.
Somebody got to stay.
At this point, I'm so confused.
I'm here. We still listening. I'm here.
So, but here's my question for you then.
let's say Obama had no power to change nothing. Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm.
Then why would you vote for him for your presidency?
I was ignorant to how that whole system worked. When I first voted, I just turned 18. You know what I mean? So as I'm learning more, I realized that it goes through a vote and you need certain seats, people in these seats to push bills through. He didn't have that. Even Biden now, where we voted in these seats, he's still not doing nothing for black people.
But you know what the difference is? Presidents have executive privilege. Barack Obama could have signed executive orders to do things for black people that he did not do. Remember, Biden gave the Asians an executive order before Congress gave them a law. He gave the Native Americans an executive order before Congress gave them the law. You follow what I'm saying? Donald Trump gave the Hispanics, the Latinos an executive order before. You understand? Obama could have used the power of his pen. And here's my one thing against Barack Obama. My one thing. You're right. I'm not going to slide him for not changing anything. I'm going to slide him for not even trying. Do you see the difference?
Definitely.
Yeah. You the president of student government at college. You didn't get nothing done. But guess what, brother? I salute you because I saw you fight for me. You feel me? You didn't get nothing done, but I saw you fight for me. Every time I turn on the television.
I just wanted to pause and say that's not an equivalent thing. The president of the United States is not equivalent to a class president. The president of the United States will be equivalent to the president of the college.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
Because they still got to answer to the board of visitors.
Correct. Right. They can't just do what they want. That would be a dictator.
I
didn't know that we were having dictators now. I guess he agreed with Trump and what he was doing with all his executive orders. Like it wasn't unprecedented.
And what did Trump do for the Hispanics? What is he talking about? I don't recall.
He put them in cages.
We know that.
He put them in cages.
And I'm so confused because when he said that President Obama did nothing, that means he didn't do anything for the economy. He didn't do anything for black people, for white people, for this person, for that person, for the orange over there, for the banana across the street. We had a better life under Obama's 8 years. Economically. That's how we were able to, still buy shoes and hair and makeup, buying him dashikis, all of that stuff. For those 8 years that Obama sat in office is what he did. He got us out of the worst recession in American history. Well, it's not no more if you put it against what Trump did, but you know what I mean.
Before Trump.
Everyone keeps getting worse than the last.
So I don't understand. You're mad because this is what I always say to people. Y'all are mad because Obama didn't specifically say out of his mouth that this is for black people.
But see, here's the thing. It goes back to that conversation about why are you wanting the system that you claim is systemically holding you down? What makes you think that system is going to grow a heart and elevate and humanize you? And it's like, I want black folk to be fucking for real. Are our issues important to us? Yes. We are 13% of the population. The president serves everybody. So no president, and I want you to hear me when I say this shit. No president is going to bypass 87% of the population to cater to 13% of the population. If you are so concerned about our plight, you might want to do something about it. Yeah, that power he keeps referencing that we don't have is because we don't go up and obtain it.
Right. And instead of him holding on to that donation money for this damn school, I'm gonna always pivot right back to the school that he has not created, that has not broken ground yet. I'm gonna do that.
He said at the end, he did say that he broke ground and it was postponed because there was an HVAC unit that the blacks didn't come help him with. So he had to hire white men to do it.
Okay, we're
gonna get to that at the end. It's at the end of this one. Yeah.
Okay, I was tripping because I could have sworn he was like telling us we need to stop dealing with white people and giving white people our money.
Right. He did say that. He said that.
So he's trying to realize not every black person is on the up and up.
I'm gonna put it on 1.5 and we'll get through this because he talking a whole bunch of bullshit. This is why I don't listen to this man in general, because he's not smart.
And you see why I question him? Y'all see why I keep quotes around that doctor?
Oh, I know why you put it on there. I used to call him Jamal. I didn't even call him by the name he go by. I used to call him Jamal. I was just like, I don't know what Jamal is talking about now. That's Dr. Umar, Jamal. Like I'm not new.
Somebody's son.
Doing it. That's somebody's Ashley's son. Look, I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna go get my Simply Peach out the freezer because I need a drink. Have y'all tasted that? I'm gonna go get it out the freezer. Y'all need to taste this shit if y'all haven't already. But let me put this on, and I'm gonna be back.
Okay, we listening.
On television, Barack Obama talking about homosexuals like they're the only people in the country. That's all he talked about. Middle class white people, homosexuals, women, and immigrants. That's all he cared about. Black people got no attention from him. But that's why the white man put him in there. When Obama was running for office, I'm one of the only scholars of public stature that said when he's done, we're going to be worse off than we was before he got in there. You go to I did a lecture at Black and Nobel bookstore in Philadelphia. It's on YouTube. Go watch it. People still watching now. They say, Dr. Umar, everything you said in the Obama, and this is why he was running. Everything you said about him, it has all come to pass. Why? I'm not no genius, but what I do know is every time we get elected officials, the condition of black people gets worse. It never gets better. Rarely do we do better when somebody black gets elected.
You don't think he was personally hand selected, especially after the whole Bush situation?
Yeah. They selected Barack Obama to make the black community in America safe for homosexuality, and they needed him internationally when back Africa support because America needs Africa's resources. So he was a stooge and a puppet. He knows it, but he did it willingly. You know, I'm sure he has trouble sleeping at night sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But my point again, if he has no power, and if you claim your vote, see, both things can't be true. Either your vote is important, or Obama should have never been elected because he ain't got the power to do nothing. You see that? You can't have a vote. You can't say my vote means everything to me, but I'm gonna use it on a man who can't do anything for me. It can't be both ways. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I don't blame Barack Obama. To his credit, he never said he would do nothing for black people. Do you understand me?
Face value.
When Jesse Jackson ran for president, 84, 88, he said he would do something for black people. When Al Sharpton ran, he said he would do something for black people. When Barack Obama ran, he made sure he didn't mention black people. Even in his presidential address, he wouldn't even mention Dr. King by name. He just said a preacher from Georgia. He wouldn't even say his name. Obama stayed as far away from black issues as possible. So to his credit, he didn't lie to us. We projected onto him. This messianic complex has failed us. Because guess what? You know what? Do you think Joe Biden would have ignored black people if we didn't let Obama do it for 8 years? Do you think Donald Trump would have ignored black people if we didn't let Obama do it for 4 years, for 8 years? You will never get another president's attention anymore because the whole world watched Black America catch hell and give Barack Obama a pass for 8 years. The worst thing we could have ever done was publicly say it was okay.
How do we bring
value to not do nothing and just be black?
How do we bring value back into our vote?
Yeah,
because you have to organize it along racial lines.
I thought it was disrespectful.
Get out the Democratic Party.
When Joe Biden, when he was asked by Charlemagne, why should black people vote for you? And he's just like, well, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. Like that wasn't an answer. He just was like, yo.
It was disrespectful, but you know why? And he didn't get no flack from it.
He didn't.
But you know why he was comfortable enough to say that? Because the Democratic Party has owned the black vote since 1933.
That's correct.
This is 2023. So in another 9 years, we would have voted Democrat for a century. What have the Democrats done so great that we owe them our vote for 100 years, brothers? 100 years. 100 years.
Great question.
You see that? Get out to your question. Get out the Democratic Party. Get out the Republican Party. Black people need to become independents, and we need to run and finance our own independent candidates. So when you become mayor of New York, when you become governor of New York, when you become a city council or state rep, you're going to do whatever the black community tells you to do because you don't owe nobody nothing. You didn't take no money from the Rockefellers. You ain't take no money from Chase Manhattan. See that? You ain't take no money from Morgan Stanley. You ain't take no money from Walmart. You ain't take no money from Hyundai. You ain't take the money from McDonald's. You are a free candidate. The problem with our elected officials is 99% of them show up in office already enslaved by the dollar of another man.
So
we up there celebrating, he's the new mayor of New York City, like the guy y'all got now? Ain't he a former police officer?
Yeah.
What we vote for him for? He's a damn cop.
I just want to point out again with this whole, which one is it? Because it's like either people that have more money than us control who becomes elected, or we can actually fund an independent candidate outside of the Democratic and Republican Party. Like,
he's just talking in circles, and because they don't know no better, they're leaning on every word. Every word. Because that's what I was wondering. I was like, I can still call my old high school civics teacher right now and be like, Chad Cook, I got a government question, sir. Do you have time to entertain me? And he will give me the information that he has or a link that leads me to it. How did he think, oh, we can run independent? How? Because if so, Kanye tried it.
See that, and I'm saying that's the thing. It's like he says things that sound good, but if you think them out, they don't make sense. We can't just have a whole bunch of independent candidates that we're funding here, there, and everywhere if we want to actually make something stick.
Correct.
We would have to create a party. But even still, when you take an oath, you serve everybody. You are not at the beck and call of a community of people unless that community of people has the money. I mean, that is how it works. Yes, we do have people that are in the pockets of people, but yes, they don't go out and say, do this and do that. No, that's not how that works. And it's like, are we a group of people or are we companies? I'm confused.
Because we're not a company. And again, like we said earlier, we are 13% of the population. An independent that is Black will lose every time. We wouldn't even be able to be shown on CNN to do a debate. Understand that Bernie Sanders is, in fact, an independent and still have to run under Democratic tickets in order for people to invest in him and to vote for him.
Right.
And he's a Democratic socialist that runs independent. So what is he talking about? What is he talking about? He doesn't
know what he's talking about.
Know what he is saying. He sounds foolish. And they are foolish because, again, you come with only questions and you don't come with any kind of like, well, I know I've seen in such and such article, or I read in such and such book. To combat what he says, his word becomes law. And
it's like you're just asking questions, letting him talk, and there's no conversation happening. Because even if you don't disagree, or even if you don't have any evidence to the contrary, there's no sort of back and forth happening. What is going on, honey, with this?
It's not. They're just sitting there taking it all in. They're taking it all in. Nobody's even questioning that what he might say is not, like, nobody's questioning it. And like, people like that are dangerous. If you're feeding off of the word of this person and never stop to do your own research, like I'm telling you something, I can't remember which one of y'all pointed out that none of them had any papers or any questions and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. When you do stuff like that, people just sit there and they absorb it like a dry sponge, and then they start regurgitating it like it's fact.
Because this is supposed to be, if you have this man up here, obviously to show that this is going to be an intellectual conversation. Even though what you're asking, the question that you're asking is far, far from an intellectual conversational topic. So when you are supposed to be having some kind of intellectual conversation, there should be a back and forth. That's how conversations work. That's how debates work. It has in brackets that it's supposed to be a heated debate.
It only got heated when he started talking about what they need to be doing as Black men sitting there right now.
Right.
And that was the only segment that it got heated, because everything else up to this point has been foolery. Foolery.
Yeah. I didn't know I was a Negro. Okay.
All right, but love is love. Love is love. I guess
Can I be racist because I date just the person that looks like me?
Right.
Like, I don't even know the definition of racism. Like, it. Are you telling these men,
me and my ancestors, really and truly?
You're telling these men to go get out of the Democratic Party and start an independent party and pour their money into
not even start a party, just get candidates to run as independents.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about
which seats though? Which seats are we gonna get first? Which ones are the most important?
And then he talking about you be the mayor of your city. Well, whoa. How does that help the whole 13%?
It doesn't. It helps who's ever within that demographic of the city. But they too busy wanting to be passport bros to help the city, but go off.
It's really upsetting me and my ancestors. I'm gonna put this nigga back on because we're gonna get through it somehow, some way.
I mean the biscuit. I'm listening.
No disrespect to him. He might be a nice guy, but you fraternal order of police?
His color is blue.
So thank you. So what we vote for him for? Because black people love to be oppressed.
How can an independent party win them? Because if
you don't need to win. In fact, you don't even need a party. You just need an independent political union. In other words, let's say we're a numerical minority, right?
Right.
We could run an independent. We're never going to win because whites got more votes than us and Latinos now got more votes than us, right?
Yeah.
We don't have to win. We're going to leverage our votes. We're going to have a political town hall meeting with all the major candidates, Republican Party, Democratic Party, Libertarian, Green Party, right? You say, it is New York City. We got 4 million black votes. And we putting them all in one place. We are not splitting. Do not divide the black vote. Put it together. We're going to ask y'all some questions. After y'all leave, we're going to talk about y'all behind y'all back. We're going to have a big community town hall debate. But when we walk out of here, we agree that majority rules.
Right.
And whichever one of y'all we vote for, that's who's going to get the votes. And if you do not deliver on what you promised, very next election, you're gone. They're going to have to deliver. Can they survive without your 4 million votes? Hell no. Hell no.
That's why they say save us for the end and start
absolutely
shit to make us
Listen,
happy.
Here's what y'all need to understand. Nobody wants an organized black vote. Let me say that again. No black governor candidate wants an organized black vote. No black U.S. Senate candidate, no black U.S. rep, no state rep, state senator, city council. Nobody, black or white, in politics wants an organized black vote. You want to know why? Because you now got the power to hold them accountable. If we was organized, your mayor would have to go to war with the police department on our behalf. He wouldn't have a choice, or he's going to be unseated.
Right.
Do you understand me? You think he wants y'all to be organized? These handkerchief head-ass black politicians who don't fight for us and these governmental systems, do you really think they want your vote to be organized? You will make them turn their slave master into an enemy.
Do you think that's why they give women and trans people so much leverage when it comes to like separating them from an actual like black man or the black family?
What?
Yes. I do think they want the black female vote because she's the biggest constituency in our community, right? Brothers don't vote, brothers in jail, brothers know the vote ain't gonna mean shit until we organize it. So yes, they would rather have a black female vote than a black community vote, hands down, because black women vote more than black men. And that's why we need our sisters to come back into the fold and say, you know what? We're not voting as women. We voting as black people. And we voting with our men. Do you know how powerful that would be?
I'm voting because my name is
on social media and say we want to fight because we got a common enemy, white supremacy. And we're going to put our votes behind it.
Oh my God. So
I will never sit here and I will never pull my vote from the Democratic Party for a nigga I know that can't do nothing because he doesn't even know basic civics.
But he just sat there and said that the black women have the vote and have the power to vote because black men are not voting or in jail, and those votes don't matter. So they would have to pull. Do you hear how crazy? That does not make sense.
And not all black people believe in the same ideologies. That's why we have black Democrats, and that's why we have black Republicans. I mean, what part of that don't you understand? We could never. We would, in order for that to work in an ideal society. In the black community, for that to work, we all would have to believe the same thing from start to finish. And that is no way possible. The three of us have similar ideologies, but we may approach them in different ways.
Correct.
So how can you say, oh, get unified when we are all from different parts of the United States?
But did y'all hear what he said get unified and do though? Because he started out with this whole independent party, whatever he want to call it. He goes, oh, but they don't even need to win. We just need to go as a group to all the candidates and ask them questions and then figure out who we're rolling with. What the fuck did you just say? Put a fucking independent. What was the point of you saying put the money behind the independent? For what?
There's no point. If that's what we gonna do, let him tell it.
He
Because I
Again,
thought we didn't need the Republicans or the Democrats. That's why he suggested to run independent.
But when he got a question, he switched up and said, "Oh, well, yeah, they won't ever win because the white people vote for this way and people will vote for this way. So we would need them to." So why the fuck did you say that in the beginning? Why didn't you just say we need to come together and figure out how we're gonna vote?
Mm-hmm.
What? He just be saying shit to say shit.
Oh, did he not realize that black people be going to these town halls too? Asking questions to
he wants us to have our own town hall, like the Black Caucus doesn't exist.
Yeah, I'm confused.
It's black women that Lord Jesus, it's black women that don't show up to them town halls. That's why we know what's going on and how to vote.
What I mean, does he think that we just sit here and watch BET?
We watch Baby Boy on a loop. That's what we do.
Like, what do you mean?
That was the craziest thing I just heard with my 2 ears.
We're gonna sit down as a community, and now, did you hear what he said? Like, we're gonna have to sit and we're gonna all have to agree on the same thing. We're not leaving out of this place until we all agree on the same thing. That's impossible.
I can't wait to have a town hall with Jay-Z and Beyonce. I just want to know how many security they're gonna have because they're black too. So that means we would have to include their votes as well, correct?
Correct.
I would love to see how this will work out with Candace Owens and Lizzo in the same damn room. That's what I want to see. Because if Candace come for Lizzo one more time, it's me and her. Okay, just want to throw that out there.
Oh my goodness!
He doesn't even make sense. He omits people out of the black community that he doesn't agree with, and then he's like, all 13% of the people have to come together as a unit. But hold on, wait a minute. You just called some of these black people coons.
Correct.
And they need to be out of that community. So where do they go?
I guess
that 13% is starting to look like 8%.
And it's starting to give Democratic and Republican at the end of the day.
Oh God,
I'm gonna let him keep talking because he.
Hold on. Side note, Ari, I like that cup. That's cute.
Thank you. I got it from Target.
Of course you did.
Is it a Target? It's a Target from one of them little from the bottle section or the front section.
From the front section.
That's my little early though. But we got all the stuff. We seasonal stuff. I love that. Mm-hmm.
Hey, they got all the clear containers for organization over there in the Target spot. I just left the other day and they got some new stuff. I got some. I just wanted to share that with y'all. You know, us have a breather in between this foolishness because
a little break from
being called whatever. Because I'm confused. Because I know things, so I can't be a Negro because I know things.
Right. So
by default, I have to be a coon because he only gave us those 2 options.
Correct.
As black people.
But since we all supposed to be coming together, let me know when y'all get y'all tickets for the Black Town Hall because I'm gonna be sitting in Lizzo's section just because I think Candace Owens is gonna cut up as soon as she get a chance.
Chaos.
The minute she started talking, I'm swinging.
I'm gonna throw a pumpkin at her head.
Right.
Not a pumpkin.
I'm gonna throw a whole pumpkin. Not wasting no watermelon on that heifer.
Oh my God. Okay? Not a fucking pumpkin. I am deceased. I can't.
Like, throw it at her head, pumpkin spice, bitch. Like, don't talk about Lizzo. Like, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. We're going on mute from the comedic relief because this is stupid, y'all. I can't. And I just appreciate y'all. I wanted to tell you. Because this is a lot.
Behind a candidate who offers to do the most for us, that would be revolutionary.
Definitely.
So speaking of that, you know, I've seen a video of yours where you said that feminism has conditioned black women to view black men as the enemy.
It has. Feminism was financed by the CIA. Gloria, what was her name? Gloria Steinem, I think she was.
Right, yeah.
Mother of modern feminism because traditional feminism goes back to the 1800s, right? With Susan B. Anthony and those white supremacists. But Gloria Steinem was a CIA agent. They financed her. Her first feminist magazine they paid for. The CIA brought feminism into the white household to get the woman out the house and into the black household to turn the black woman against the black man. To scapegoat us for problems caused for her by white supremacy.
So, obviously, a big thing, obviously, we spoke about the gender wars, earlier. Obviously, there's a lot of conversation nowadays about, the value of what a woman brings and the value of what a man brings in a relationship. And now there's a lot more rhetoric from our women that we hear is, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, right? So
that's pain speaking, though.
Right.
Because most black women know they will never get a man. A black woman can have sex whenever she wants.
Right.
Because she's beautiful. She can have a bed mate, but to have a soul mate, she may never get. I have 2 daughters, 11 and 20, right? My oldest will be 21 this week. Statistically, right? There's a strong chance my daughter could be one of those. I hope she's not. She could be one of those who never get a husband because only 1 out of 4 gets a husband. You see that? So when a black woman says, I don't need a man, that is a reaction to the reality that I may not get a man.
So why not preach? Because I understood, you're obviously against interracial relations when it comes to black men with with white women.
With all women. You should only be with the black woman.
And you will say, well, if you can't find a good woman in America, there's plenty in
Absolutely.
Africa. So why not teach that same rhetoric to our women? Like if you feel
tell sisters all the time, go to Africa.
So
I know sisters who marry. I just spoke with her sister. She invited me to the wedding. She just married a brother from the continent.
So, but instead of saying they will never
I'll
get
take
married,
sisters to Africa who married brothers they met in Africa.
Right.
So
I think I think there's obviously plenty of black men,
yes,
black women. So
and what I also tell black women, if you're going to
married,
go get you an African man from the continent,
right,
you have to understand that the way in which you talk to black men in America will not be tolerated over there.
Why the fuck is it tolerated? It's not tolerated here. That's what we're trying to tell them.
Well, over here, I want to say this to us though, because we try to act like the way sisters treat us doesn't have a history that we are not at least partly responsible for. Let's be honest. The black woman has had to hold down the black house by herself. Although imperfectly, she's had to do it by herself since the mass incarceration of black males began in the 1970s. You understand me? Most of our children are raised by a single mother right now. And it has been that way for about 50 years. So when a sister says, I don't need a man, because she couldn't find one strong enough to hold her down. Or when you meet a woman and you say, sister, I'm strong enough to be a man. You ain't got to work or you ain't got to pay the bills or whatever. Pull back. I got you. And she can't do it because all the other men before you who disappointed her. So what I'm saying is black men, we got to be patient with our women because we created that personality. We created that. And then we want to act like we didn't play a role.
We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable. No, you have to be held accountable because they have a poor selection. See, what you're saying, you're selecting a poor mate. And what I'm saying is they don't have much to select one. So of course you're going to end up with a poor mate. And why is she going to end up with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need. We are not. They out there killing themselves right now. What we doing about it? Unemployed black males. What we doing about it? Pants sagging, weed smoking. What we doing about it? Black men are not raising black boys to be the men our community needs. That is 100% our fault. What I'm saying is she got a right to be angry with us. She got a right to be angry with us. We have not been on our job as black men. If the men are the providers, what have we been providing for our community? I'm not speaking you individually.
Yes.
Because you may be a damn good father. You may be a damn good father. You may be a damn good father. But guess what? What are we doing for the community? What are we doing for the children who don't have a father? You don't think the black woman got a right to be angry when she's been raising 2/3 of the kids by herself for 50 years? And the minute she raised her voice, we say she's not humble enough. She had to become masculine to survive the rape, the molestation, the domestic abuse. Are you telling me you can't see how we created that?
I understand that, but she needs
if we was loving our women and taking care of our women, do you think she would be like that? That personality has a history.
If she's picking Pookie and Ray Ray instead of
you're making her a scapegoat.
No, she's picking a scapegoat.
No.
There's good quality men that they ignore.
Why she even got it? Why is there even a Pookie in the selection?
You gotta accept it.
No. I'm gonna tell you why there's a Pookie in the selection. Because black men have abandoned black boys and have allowed social media, white media, athletes, and rappers to raise them. That's why she with Pookie. If we never allow Pookie to develop, she would not have a Pookie. If we're going to be men, the first thing we got to do is take responsibility for why our women feel the way they feel.
I can hear that.
I'm not saying that they're right to disrespect, because even if a woman disrespects me, right? That still don't give me a right to disrespect her because she's still the queen of the community. Even if she's not acting like it, I'm going to give her that respect. But when I hear brothers talk like this discourse we having now, we act like we don't understand.
No,
there's reasons for that shit.
I do understand. Women are so valuable. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think women ground men and help them, propel to the next level. I think men get further in life with a woman, right? But if I'm a hardworking man, but I'm only looked at as resources, and then she's ready to jump on Tom, Dick, and Harry because he got flash, he's shining a little bit more, his access to money is quicker than mine. It's kind of hard to have that.
Well, one, I agree with you, but that's not all sisters.
No, it's not.
And if you're constantly running into that type of woman, then the problem is you, because you're attracting a certain low vibrational energy. Why
not have that same energy for women? You just again, you have
because we having a conversation as men.
Yeah,
I got plenty of interviews with all women where I check them too.
Right.
But as a man, you should not be concerned about what I say to them. No, as men, we should be concerned of what we're going to do to produce a better generation of black males for tomorrow. That's the only, that is where we should be focused.
Women bring the choice of life, right? We understand that, right? I can't have a child unless a woman agrees.
And she can't carry one if you didn't put it in her.
I agree with that 100% too, right? But whether or not, if you want that child or not, she can still make that decision. It's only
if
up
you
to
don't
her.
put a seed in her, nothing else happens. And no woman can make you put a seed in her. So the original act was the responsibility of a man.
True. I mean,
all right. So did black men willingly leave the household, or was it the system that was?
It was systemic.
All right. So how, if we giving them grace for them having to do it without us, but it wasn't our fault, how are we not getting that same grace and that same respect?
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Because black men, as the leaders of the community, now
we can't be leaders.
Here's the question we got to make. Here's the question. Because the argument y'all make, feeds into the feminist agenda.
Okay.
It's an argument that says, I don't want the responsibility.
I'm a leader.
I don't want to fix shit. Right? I'm gonna fall back and let her run everything. That's what the feminists tell. They say, look at them, making excuses for why they can't be better men, making excuses for why they can't make better men. You understand? Your argument feeds the feminist narrative. That's not what
we make excuses for.
I'm saying I am the better man, but I shouldn't be held responsible because you wanted to choose a Pookie and a Ray Ray. That's not me. I worked too hard in my life.
Back to what I said. Pookie and Ray Ray shouldn't exist. And the only reason why Pookie and Ray Ray exist because we're not in the community making those boys the men they need to be. Do you see that? And she don't get a Pookie if you didn't allow a Pookie.
But she got an Eli. She ain't come to Eli. She went to Pookie. And that's what we're trying to
She wouldn't have had a Pookie if we didn't allow one.
Hard in my life.
She wouldn't have had a Pookie if we didn't allow one.
Dr. Umar,
men supposed to raise the boys.
Right. We as men is holding other men accountable for the same thing that you're talking about right now.
What are we doing for the young brothers in the street? So
what you mean, mentoring them? No, I mean, he's a great father.
I ain't talking about that's individual. That's good. But that's individualism. What are we doing collectively as men to change the trajectory for black boys in the streets right now? Nothing.
We're being
talking shit.
Yeah, I mean, you could take
it's not going to get better unless we put hands on deck. The reason the athletes and the rappers are the role models is the professional black man moved out the hood. Where the dentist at? He ain't in the black community no more. Where the lawyer at? Where the business owner at? Where your city council person at? We abandon black boys and then we blame black men for poor choices in mates that they should not even have to make if we did a better job raising our boys the right way. At the end of the day, if I'm gonna call myself a man, the ultimate responsibility for reconstruction of the black community rests with me. Yes, they have a role. Yes, they have responsibility. But as a man, as a leader, to say I can't fix this shit unless she changes, that's not the definition of a man.
I don't see. I think we're on two different accords. Like, I don't think we're saying that. What I'm saying is I'm capable of being that leader, that provider. I've worked hard in my life. You get what I'm saying? I should not have to.
You still go back to individualism.
But I only feel like we tell black men that we have to now deal with masculine women, women with children.
Why is she masculine? Because she had to raise the kids alone, not one woman, brother, a whole community.
So you mean to tell me the only woman I could look forward in my life is a masculine woman that has kids by other men?
No,
that's what I have to look forward to.
But I'm telling you, mistakes made by black men systemically gave rise to the conditions that allowed her to be masculine and made her end up with a man that you consider to be less than what he should be. And I'm telling you, black men are responsible for her being masculine because we have not helped her raise them children. When I say help them raise them children, I don't mean you as the stepdad. I mean you as an active member in the community where we go to every single parent black mother and say, how many sons you got? 2? How many sons you got? 2? Well, guess what? That's your son's big brother. That's your son's big brother. He taking him to school. He doing the homework. He gonna spend a couple hours with him every Saturday. He got his own kids too, but he's gonna make time for you. She got masculine because she had to become masculine in order to deal with the rape, the abuse, the domestic violence, the disappointments that men had in her life, and also raising those kids and have to take care of herself all at the same time. The black woman has been the be all in all in our community for half of a century, and now we want to turn around and say because she didn't do it perfectly enough or remain feminine enough when she had to absorb our responsibilities plus her own, that's insensitive and disingenuous.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, I can't.
I mean, I guess I do understand. I understand what you're saying.
I'm not taking you have yet to tell me something that we've done systemically to combat that. Because you said me and her. I don't care about me and her.
But there's plenty
women and men. Women and men as a group in the community. You understand?
Right.
We gave birth to that. You see? So you say she had a couple kids already because she met men. She probably thought they was good. Some of them, they left her.
She knew they wasn't good.
You don't know that, brother.
She knew they wasn't good.
You're making assumptions about her. Would you make the same assumption if she was a white woman?
Yes, I would.
So you say.
No,
come on, man. Come on.
So you say.
Listen, like I said, I feel like as a black man,
we don't hold them all accountable because black men date outside their race more than every other man put together.
I said we.
Y'all 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't disprove that because I don't know you personally.
Even that, if we look at the numbers, black men marry black women at an 87% rate, where black women marry outside of their race, or they marry outside at a 92%.
Black women do not. No, you're wrong.
Percentages
you're
apart.
wrong.
That's not that much.
Black women do not marry out the race more than black men.
I'm not saying that. But the percentages
black
ain't that
women,
far off. That's
black women have one of the highest, fastest growing interracial marriage rates. But her interracial marriage rate pales in comparison to what black men have been doing interracially for 4 or 5 decades. You understand? She don't even come close to what we're doing interracially.
Black fathers are in the home more than any other group or race.
Okay.
So what that has no value?
It does have value, but we're going to put that up against the other statistic. 2/3 of our kids are being raised by the women. 2/3 of our kids are being raised by the women. And like I said, when I say being raised, I'm not saying there needs to be a father. I would like a father in that house, but I know it's not enough of us to go around. We are not even being accountable to the boys in the hood. And we're complaining about the women. I argue with women who are making babies with the irresponsible men that we didn't raise correctly. That's bullshit.
All right.
That's wimp-ass, weak man shit. Take responsibility for our shit. Stop scapegoating them.
Yeah, I could agree to that.
All I'm saying is look at all we can be doing better, man. Half the black boys in the 4th grade can't read. What black men doing about that systemically?
Not enough.
I know what I'm doing about it. I'm building a school for it, 2 of them. But systemically, as black men, what are we doing about that? Nothing. Black boys are the most unemployed teenager in America. What black men doing about that? Pookie and Ray you kept talking about? We letting them raise right before our eyes, and then we want to criticize stuff for ending up with one when we should have made sure there were none.
Listen, we all got choices. Just like if I choose to live a lifestyle,
individualism. I can't.
That's
deal with
part
that.
of choices.
No, it's not. We have to deal with this systemically. He brought up a question earlier, and he said, "Did we make these problems on our own, or was there some systemics involved?" It was systemics.
Okay.
In 1970, they shut down the factories. They took out the industrial building jobs. 1980, dropped off the crack and the AIDS. 1990, the Bill Clinton crime bill. There's systemic factors at play. You totally divorce your analysis from any systemic factors at all. You ain't mentioned one. You keep talking about her and Pookie and Ray with the kids. You ain't said shit about the systemics. That's exactly what white folks want you to do. That's what white folks want you to do.
I'm saying
ignore what I've done to your women and scapegoat her. Because that's what she's doing to you. She's ignoring what the system did to you. And she's going to scapegoat you. And we're both scapegoating each other.
Okay, that's fair.
Your analysis is feeding the gender war. It's not solving it.
Listen,
I don't mind us holding the women accountable. I don't mind us holding the men accountable.
Right?
Yeah. But when we're going to hold the system accountable as well.
That's fair.
And if we're going to hold the system accountable, that also means we got to make our own systems too. Black men have not been manly in quite some time when it comes to raising boys.
How would you suggest that black men take on the role of leadership,
especially when there's an attack on black masculinity,
without women willing to listen to us? You get what I'm saying? How do we prove our worth or take back the leadership
care of the boys?
role?
You want the women back? Take care of these damn boys. They run in the hood, killing people at will, flunking out of school, following the lead of the gangster rappers. There's a whole bunch of stuff we can do that ain't got nothing to do with the women, boys and men. Do you understand? Deal with the boys and the men. Leave her out of it and go straight to the boys. And you'll get her respect back.
Ooh,
give them jobs, give them education, give them training, give them your time. They're not getting none of that from black men. We don't give a shit about black boys. And then we're going to get mad at her for ending up with one later in life. It's ridiculous.
Can I say this really, really quick?
Go, Ari.
I want to call his bullshit. Didn't he say in the beginning of this, when we watched it 2 weeks ago, that the reason why our boys were entering into the prison system was because they were being diagnosed as special education, ADHD, behavior problems. This is why they were going to prison. This is why the black boys weren't learning anything, because of special education being put on them and being classified as ADHD. But then turn around and then say it's because black men were not in the communities sitting here giving them positive male attention, so that way they won't get wrapped up in the shooting and the killing and the gang related stuff that will then cause them to drop out of school and wind up being in the prison. Which one is it?
He said the ADHD, the prison pipeline. That is what he said. That is what he said. And see, they said high, whatever that name was on that video, the high debate or whatever the case would be. It only got spicy because they was ready to argue. They were sitting, them other 3 men sat in their submissive feminine energy while he was talking up until he said, we need to hold men accountable. And they were like, here, Karen, hold my sweet tea. And they was ready to hop up off them couches and have something to say. But where's the lie? And I hate these men for making me agree with certain words that Jamal said. But where's the lie? Where's the lie? You talking about the fourth graders not learning? Daquan, little man got a test tomorrow, and I've been yelling at him and his sister all day, and I worked all day, and I'm cooking. Can you come and do the reading homework with little man? Well, nah, I'm out here doing me. I can't because of my new whatever. You can't never show up for the kids, but then blame the woman if the kids fail. He's not wrong in the statement. I just think the message came from the wrong damn person.
See, the thing is, there was bits and pieces. It was bits and pieces
that made sense.
Because the whole of it all didn't make no fucking sense. Because he started out by saying that feminism was funded by the FBI and feminism from black women against black men. But then he went to a whole 5-minute diatribe about all the things black men have failed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And all their problematic behavior. So again, which one is it? Is it feminism? Is it the system? Is it y'all? See, I have the range to go into how it might be all of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, whose responsibility is it to take care of your community? Going back to, why are you waiting for the people that are actively oppressing you to do things for you that you are capable of doing for yourself? It's not the government's job to make sure we have generational wealth. It's not the government's job to not molest our children. It's not the government's job to take care of your kids. It's not the government's job to stop being violent. It's not the government's job to stop y'all from killing us, the children, and yourselves. That has nothing to do with the system. And I really wish when we have these conversations, we separate those two things.
Mm-hmm.
Are there systemic things? Yes. That apply to all black folk, not just black men.
Correct.
That we also have to deal with gender and how y'all have male privilege. But that has nothing to do with what happens when we're at home.
Mm-hmm.
Can it affect what kind of home you have? Yes. How does it have to influence how you operate your home? No.
Mm-hmm.
Does the government decide what kind of man you're going to be? No. Like,
your mama can't even make you a man that you like. Here's the thing. People have to understand this. Your parents can only teach you so much, right?
Correct.
Some things you learn from your parents, some things you learn from the outside world, outside of your four walls of your house, right?
Right.
So how dare he sit here and say, because of the government and how the government treated us, this is why I couldn't teach my child how to be a better citizen. Because that's not true. Because you could. You can teach your child right from wrong. And even if you can't teach your child right from wrong, that child still has to decide if they want to be right or if they want to be wrong.
Right. But then that goes back to, again, at every single turn, there is no actual accountability. Why is my camera always doing me like this? It's okay.
I don't know.
Because when he's talking about prison and stuff and the 13th Amendment, it's like, yeah, they did switch the landscape of, having y'all be enslaved through the 13th Amendment. But it's like, again, who told y'all to commit crimes? And he over here about, they dropped off AIDS and crack. I'm like, who picked it up? First of all, we could go back. The government didn't drop off AIDS nowhere.
Please don't say that. Please don't, Lord. The Dr. Jamal brigade might come and find you if you say that. Don't say that too loud.
Well, look, here. I will change my mind if you find me some research and I'll review it.
And it has to be peer reviewed.
Yeah.
That means more than one person put their hands on it. That there was studies that was conducted. Like, we need all of that.
Because I know that the crack was dropped off, but again, who told y'all to sell it?
Who told y'all?
We needed money because they took us out the home because welfare. Who told you to sell it?
I don't know. I will have to look this up to verify what I'm getting ready to say, so nobody in the comment section or the interweb come after me. I'm pretty positive if I didn't see it on the internet, I saw it on TikTok where they was talking about when they dropped the crack off into the neighborhoods, that some of the black males decided, hey, the Italians have a mafia, why don't we have one? And that's why they picked it up, trying to imitate these mob situations that are essentially funded by those people's countries. And then they kept failing.
I think the part that they forgot is that, like, they have a code, and you don't sell to your own women and children and your family. You go somewhere else and do that.
Yeah.
And then and then you protect your women and children with your life.
Yeah, they missed those two parts.
No,
I think they lost the plot a little bit.
They love watching these shows that depict us as drug dealers and users. And they're like, oh, I love this show. This show is everything. I love watching this show. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, but then y'all turn around and then y'all say the same thing that y'all love watching every Sunday and Wednesday night. Y'all then turn around and say, it's the white man's fault that all of this stuff is going on. And it's like, but you glorify it in your music, you glorify it in your shows that you watch, and then because it's in your presence, and you say, I have 1,000,001 ways to make money, but I'm going to do this way because this way seems like I'm going to make the most money.
And even when let's be real. We've known over our lives, I don't assume everybody's age here, so I'm not going to be like, oh, in our X amount of lives, we all might be, Anywho,
I'm 21.
When they got the money.
We ain't 21 falling asleep at the club.
No. But when they got the money, they didn't put back into the community.
Listen, they bought platform boots and bell-bottom pants
and Beamers
and
the old
Cadillacs.
Mercedes. Yeah,
and they moved their family out of the projects into the white developments because they wanted to show the white people that they had money.
Yep. That's why Karens feel so comfortable asking, "Where'd you get the money for this car?"
Like, where do y'all think that started from? Bitch.
Right.
Oh my God. Let's finish this. They're gonna make my head hurt.
But that's the reason why they're mad. They're mad because up until this point, and I said it in a TikTok, up until this point, they were rocking with him. Everything that he said made 100% truth. It was gospel. And then when he starts saying some stuff that makes them have to stand up and take ownership of why our society, the Black society, isn't operating in the way in which we would like it to operate in, then it's like, no. You're not going to put that on me because me individually am not that type of person. But all women are that type of women.
I'm going to say this and we're going to get back to it because these three, I'm going to leave Umar out this for a second. These three are a band of bitches. There should be no reason why you are ready to get hype and fight a man because he's telling you about yourself and not holding women accountable. It's like, if you're such a leader and such a man, why the fuck are you so worried about what your followers are doing? Wouldn't you just fucking lead?
Right.
Well, like he said, they don't have no ounce of manhood. They don't have no ounce of manhood. This is ridiculous.
Coco, when you go back to the video, run it back about 20 seconds and they said something about how do you 20 or 30 seconds, not too much now. But he said something about, well, how do we go about teaching the boys how to lead? Now wait a minute. Y'all be standing.
Y'all gotta learn to lead first.
Y'all be standing on your dial soapboxes with your microphones from Jeff Bezos' plantation, screaming about you being a damn leader, and then you got the nerve to ask Jamal, well, how do we go about teaching them to be a leader? I thought y'all was already leaders. So y'all just keep debunking everything we saying.
No, because in part one they said they won't let us lead. The women aren't gonna let us lead.
No, and they said it in this part too. Because after he said that part, the question wasn't over. So the question was that, and when we have to deal with masculine Black women.
It's like, if I'm masculine, what does that say about you in this moment?
Thank you, because
if I'm coming up here as masculine, there's balance in everything. We both can't be two masculines button heads.
Listen,
and I want to take it all the way back. Black women are not going to be the only demographic of person that's going to probably be alone.
I mean, let's be real about this. When we talk about women, the decline in the marriage rate, I mean, let's be real. The majority of people talking about that are only looking at white women.
Mm-hmm.
White women have been over white men shit for a while now. So they also don't have the range to understand this is a global thing. Globally, women are tired of patriarchy and tired of men. But they don't have the knowledge. Google, ain't nobody talking to you, girl? Did y'all hear her, girl? Mind her business. But no, like globally, like if they had an ounce of intelligence and education, like first of all, if you understood patriarchy and how it's been globally, at least for the past 300 to 500 years, you're not included in that picture. I'm sorry. So while you're trying to hold on to patriarchy is beyond me, because according to patriarchy, you're still property. So y'all should figure out how to not be property first. But also it's like they keep complaining about our women, blah, 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 blah. It's like, do y'all know how y'all look globally for the women to be a matriarchy within a global patriarchy? Like that points back to you and you having a you problem. I don't understand.
I just before we press play, I'm mad that we didn't mention something. It was a little ways back.
What did we mention?
Why didn't we mention the fact that this man thinks that the FBI will take time out of their busy schedule?
Look, I glossed right over that. I glossed right over the fact that he really thinks that the FBI is looking at us and saying, how can we disenfranchise them even though we disenfranchised them over 400 years?
Through Dr. Umar Johnson. Come on now.
Ain't nobody looking at this man. I asked in the chat, like, does this man think he's MLK or Malcolm X? Ain't nobody fucking tapping your fucking phone, bitch. If they're tapping your phone, it's probably because you're saying radical things that are kind of a little loopy.
Or traffic.
And they watch you because you inciting some type of things that they don't want incited, but they're not looking at you because you're leading the Black community. Who the fuck are you leading?
Because you're not leading anybody.
The FBI would have had a better shot at getting Kitten Hughes before he took his dirt nap because of the following that he had. Like, he could be anything in the world. He need to be fucking for real because that is not it.
And the whole thing about it is he doesn't realize that our most powerful Black government official is Hakeem Jeffries.
Who's Hakeem Jeffries, baby? I know that name.
Hakeem Jeffries is a part of Congress. He's the minority leader.
Uh-huh.
So that means if they wouldn't have voted, what's that white man that's the leader of the House?
Mitch.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Bitch.
No.
McConnell.
No, Mitch McConnell is a part of Senate.
Oh, because that nigga,
Kevin McCarthy.
I'm waiting for when he passed on. I can't wait for all his sex workers. I know they're all men. I just know they are. I just know they are.
But yeah,
I just know
Hakeem Jeffries is right underneath Kevin McCarthy.
Okay.
They will take that Black man out before they take you out.
No, like legitimately, like I need him to be fucking for real. He didn't let him make believe.
And I want to state Dr. Udi real quick. Shit, now I done lost my thought. I was getting ready to be profound. I lost it.
You finna talk shit, see? You was finna talk shit.
Oh, no, it came back. My ADHD. Came back. Thank God I ain't go to ADHD prison pipeline. Whew. Thank you, Jamal. Anyway,
I can't.
Dr. Udi has said this multiple times. If Black men would stop thinking that Black women will be white women, we could have some better dialogue. Because all of this, I got to deal with a masculine woman. Well, if you acting like a bitch, I mean, somebody got to be masculine at this point.
I'm trying to figure out, what was it on the plantation? Was it in the white woman's household taking care of her churn and everything else, and probably her husband too? Like, was it during the crack epidemic? Was it during the 90s? Was it during what would lead you to believe that we're just, I'm gonna paint my nails, I'm just gonna sit here and let my husband take care of it? Bitch, y'all don't got no fucking money to take care of it.
Well,
so
here's
what the
the
fuck
thing.
are you talking about?
Those men can easily submit to Karen. They know what submission is when it comes to Karen, but then to say I gotta wait on a masculine black woman, but that tone is very feminine, sir. If we want to be completely honest, it sounds like you're whining.
And did you see how he was huffing and puffing? The one with the boot on? He was huffing and puffing. He was heated.
Why do I have to wait for a masculine woman? Gosh, Dad. Oh, Daddy.
I was like, why
I don't want a masculine woman. Why did you choose Pookie and Ray Ray before me? Why? Why did she choose
I have to settle? Why should I have to settle with a woman with 2 degrees?
I don't want to be a stepdad.
Oh my God, my sperm actually works and I gotta take care of this kid. Oh, Jesus.
What is going on here?
I was trying to have a good time and then she came up pregnant.
Like, this is the exact reason why y'all will never be the leaders, because this shit right here,
it's comedic.
Even if we was like, yes, be the leader, we will. No,
we already tested that.
Where are we going?
We did a social science experiment, you and I, on one of my lives on TikTok, and we sat there and we gave them the floor. We told people, I told moderators, don't touch nobody, let them say whatever they want to say. And we were told, you're looking for a PowerPoint presentation.
What PowerPoint presentation? Wait a minute.
No,
that's what we were told.
We need a step-by-step plan. He was all like, resources. How are we getting the resources from where? What are we doing with it? Oh, so you want a PowerPoint presentation?
Oh, we want a plan?
I would like for you to answer the question.
And I thought we was on that live for like 2 hours.
We were.
We never stopped. We kept that same question out there. And multiple black men came in and out of that live and could not answer that question for the life of them.
I wish they would. Never mind.
And now they're going to a Negro. Now they're going to a Negro that don't even know how to open up a school
properly or at all.
Yikes.
The thought I have.
I'm gonna let them finish. I'm gonna let them finish because
it's just like a hamster on a wheel, just
while the other hamsters going nowhere. Yeah, the other hamsters are watching. Like, oh, look at him work. Look at him say that stuff on that wheel. Ooh, he's so strong. So strong, powerful.
I can't.
You know, now that we get this close up, I retract what I said about the ball, but that lineup looked horrible. Anyway, go ahead, Coco. You can press play. I'm gonna be quiet.
Flunking out of school, following the lead of the gangster rappers. There's a whole bunch of stuff we can do that ain't got nothing to do with the women, boys and men. Do you understand? Deal with the boys and the men. Leave her out of it and go straight to the boys, and you'll get her respect back. Give them jobs, give them education. Give them training, give them your time. They're not getting none of that from black men. We don't give a shit about black boys. Then we get mad at her for ending up with one later in life. It's ridiculous. Like I said, we product and get mad for her for ending up consuming the product.
She could consume whatever she wants. I'm just saying, as a black man,
it's not about her consuming whatever she wants, brother. Because if we're trying to fix the black community, everybody and everything matters. It's not individual. You're an individualist. You're not thinking as a community. Your whole analysis is based on me and her. Step out of that shit. This is systems at play. You understand?
Right.
Multiple black men screwed up. Multiple black women screwed up. You understand me? Look at the systemic nature and say, what system do we need to create as black men to prevent the Pookie and Ray Ray from coming into existence?
Or I, as a black man, can just look for a woman that is healed, that is leading in her femininity, that doesn't have a child by another woman.
That doesn't solve community problems. We're talking about community solutions. That's individualism.
That's fair. Let me get to this last topic before we get up out of here. I do want to talk about your school because this is a great transition. You know, how difficult was it to build your school? And obviously you had the detractors and the haters saying that the school didn't exist, or you know, you were scamming people. So what was your biggest I would say disadvantage or hardship about going about building a school?
First of all, this water was good and it better not be FBI water. Bilal, take all these pictures. Okay. Yeah. Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. First thing I want to say to your listeners is, please donate to the academy. Indeed. Get on your Cash App, $FDMG School. Get on your PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. You can mail, check, or money order in to FDMG Academy, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. You can get that information on my website, drumarjohnson.com. You can also text message me for that. And for my parents out there who having issues with your children, learning disabilities, autisms, ADHDs, IEPs, 504s, white teacher racism, psychological evaluations, pre-referral intervention plans, behavior intervention plans, any issues you're having with your children, education and mental health, you can reach out to me. 215-989-9858. That's 215-989-9858. Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. The idea had been with me since I was a psychologist with the School District of Philadelphia. The idea began to take form in 2014 when an associate of mine gave me a phone call and told me that the historic HBCU St. Paul's College was for sale in Lawrenceville, Virginia. He said they only want $2 million. I said, a whole HBCU for $2 million? 118 acres. I went down there, told them I need the school for our boys. The white people at Motley's auction in Richmond, Virginia. And they said, if you can get us $500,000 in about a month, we might could work with you. So we started a fundraiser. As soon as we started the fundraiser, my detractors attacked it. They called Motley, tried to disrupt the sale. In 2015, a year later, we started a GoFundMe. They sabotaged the GoFundMe, said I was spending the money on my own. So they stopped the GoFundMe, even though I supplied GoFundMe with all the account statements and gave them permission to speak to the branch manager to verify the information. GoFundMe didn't even check it out because they wanted to shut me down. They didn't want to support a Black initiative. So then we learned in 2017, I want to say, 16, that a Chinese corporation bought the St. Paul's College. I couldn't believe it. That
in the process of you doing it.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that Black people let Chinese people buy a historically Black college built by our ancestors coming out of slavery by Father Russell, who was friends to both Booker T. Washington and George Washington Carver. Chinese own it now. So once they bought the school, I said, okay, Black folks are donating. We've always got a lot of donations. They're just low amounts, quantity versus quality, right?
Yeah.
Quantity low. Or should I say the quality of the donation low, but the quantity vast.
Yes. Okay, get you.
So, you know, a lot of 10s, 20s, 50s, 100s, but if you're trying to buy an institution, that ain't quite enough.
Right. Got you.
Right. So anyway, we said we're just going to get us a day school. So I used up all my frequent flyer miles flying all over America. I thought the school was going to be in Detroit because Detroit had a couple Catholic schools in great shape that we could afford. There was around the $300,000 mark. I said, we're going to end up in Detroit. Black city, I'm ready for Detroit. Roman Catholic Church wouldn't sell them to me. Then we had a school in Philly. Roman Catholic Church wouldn't sell it to me. Then we was going to lease a school in money earning Mount Vernon, New York. Clean Catholic school. White man said, I got to call Rome. I said, what? He said, I got to call Rome. I said, you got to call the Vatican. He said, yeah. I didn't know this. He said, half the Catholic schools in America are still managed directly from the Vatican.
That's crazy.
Did y'all hear that?
I didn't know that.
Guess what else he told me? That the Roman Catholic Church is the second largest owner of real estate on the planet Earth. White man told me this. So he called me back. Rome said, we can't give you the school.
Right.
The Roman Catholic Church refused me to lease the school in money earning Mount Vernon, New York. In other words, the school could have been open years ago, but we kept on getting set.
Is that because, do you feel because you are a Black man trying to purchase
Because
that?
I'm Dr. Umar.
Yeah, what he's trying to, you know,
remember something Napoleon
Dr. Umar?
Oh my God.
Napoleon said,
Dr. Umar? Somebody in Nevada. What?
Nobody in the Vatican gives a
Commander,
damn.
why are you so interested in destroying the Haitians? Is it to prevent them from destroying our investment on the island? He said, nah. We must stop and crush the Haitian revolution to forever prevent the march of Blacks forward into the world. The Haitian revolution wasn't about the Haitian revolution. It was about white supremacy. They can't let me succeed because they don't know how far I will go. You see that? When white people see a fire, they put it out. You feel me? Who is this Black man coming up here who can afford to pay this type? What Black man is thinking about opening up a school for Black boys independently? Now, you might do LeBron James, public school you just give some money to. You didn't buy, you didn't build it, you don't own it, you don't control it. Puffy, get you a charter school. Jalen Rose, get you a charter school. I'm not doing that. This is independent. We own it. Right? Then I went to Detroit, tried to buy public school. They wouldn't show me none of the public schools in good shape. Chicago, couldn't get none of the public schools in good shape. That's when I realized there must be a national thing out.
Right.
He don't get no school. You feel me? We had the money and they still wouldn't sell them. So then finally, I come back from Benin, Togo, and Ghana, 2017.
Oh Lord, I'm
Remember
trying to
Great North
tap the
American
screen.
Eclipse, August
Coco,
21st,
I'm not in
2017?
trouble. If you want.
I'm letting him finish so I can be done with this.
George Jackson Revolution Day. I'm on LoopNet. I see the school in Wilmington, Delaware. So this school looked brand new. I go to it on my way down to Nat Turner, came back from Nat Turner, went to Cuba to get my initiation. When I came back from Cuba, I finally got into the schools. I walked around. I said, you know what? These schools are modern. They're in good shape. Did my research, found out these schools only 10 years old. 2 of them. They wanted $2 million. We only had $500,000. But that was August and September of 17. We bought the school February of 19. So for 18 months, I stayed on them.
Right.
Can we get the school? Can we buy the school? Can we get the school? Buy the school? And then one day I said, can y'all sell it to us? He responded, give us what you got. I said, oh, shit. I talked him down from 2 mils to We got to school 2017. I'm happy, jumping for joy. Little did I know, the black contractors was not going to do us any justice. Man. We got robbed. We got scammed, man, our own people.
Which is unfortunate, yeah.
Very unfortunate. Then one day, last September, I said, you know what? I'm going to have to use white folks. I waited 3 years to try to get my people. We got to school in 17. We got to school in 19. I saw it in 17. We got it in 19. This is 2023, right? So February of 19 to 20 to 21 to 22 to 23, 4 years. February, March, April, May, June, July, August. It'll be 4.5 in August. I decided to call up a white man, HVAC. He had both units on the roof in 2 days. Crane truck and everything. We already bought the units. We had them custom made. Right. So they've been sitting for a year. Brand new, sitting. Because all the black HVACs tell me they're going to come do it. Never did it. So I called a white man to do it. He gets the units up right before the festival. I start scratching my head like, damn. Waiting on brothers for 3. This white man did this in 2 days? So then I asked the white man, I said, you know any plumbers? He said, I got a plumber for you. Boom. You electrician? I got him. Boom. Security? Boom. Fire? Come. Boom. Boom. Wednesday, I go to the school to get the final HVAC repairs done. HVAC is on. We got air. We got AC. You got to do some final stuff to get the inspection. Once that go through, we done. I got to call the city, find out what we got to do to get our certificate of occupancy, because plumbing is repaired and inspected, HVAC repaired and inspected, fire, security repaired and inspected, everything. The only thing left is HVAC. And of course, we got to close up the holes and paint and do the floor. It's superficial, beautiful. But all the systems, once we done HVAC, we done. The sad thing is, those white men did in 4 months, 3 months, really. What black men couldn't help me do in 3 years. It's the self-hate. It's not giving up on our people, though. Because when we go across the street to the Frederick Douglass High School, which is 4 times bigger, I still want to find some black contractors. I'm never giving up on our people. But I also have to face reality.
Right.
And the reality of the fact is we are so psychologically damaged that most of us find it almost impossible to do right by another black person. And these white folks, they don't even like me. Do you feel me? Right. They don't even like me.
Oh, my God.
They did the job and did it right. It hurt. I'm like, damn. They just did it with no problem. Just came in, knocked it out, cheaper price and everything. If I would have just went with whites from the beginning, the school would have been done. But I couldn't do that because that's against what I stand for. So I had to try to use our people.
So with this being an independent school, does that mean you can implement your own curriculums?
Absolutely.
Like, so what kind of curriculums are you plan on teaching at the school?
Well, you got to have math, science, language, and social studies. That's required.
Right.
And then on top of that, we're going to have agricultural and agronomical science, dietary and nutritional science. We're about to buy some farmland right now. We're also going to have political and military science. We will be teaching African martial arts, weapons training too. There will also be spiritual and astrological science. I practice Yoruba spirituality. We will teach it. The school will be a bona fide independent parochial academy. We must have a religious instruction there, spiritual instruction. It will also be dietary, nutritional, agricultural, agronomical, spiritual, and astrological, military and political, science of the black man, woman, and child.
Right.
So we're going to teach the boys how to be men, how to be gentlemen, also how to be men, how to be fathers, how to be leaders in the community. And then financial and economics, investment, real estate, stocks, all of that. We're going to have guest speakers every month for the boys from different industries. They're going to work on their own business plan. And when they graduate from the school, we're going to give them their grant for their first business.
That's dope, yeah. Well, definitely gonna talk about that. But then,
I thought the point was to elevate and bolster our community so that we can be not dependent on a white man. Last time I checked, stocks and bonds
are Caucasian.
Were that because of the stock market? So unless does the plan come with having more publicly traded black companies? Because I'm confused.
Did y'all see me put in the chat? Say, how the hell the business get in Delaware? I guess he answered my question. Because when he said Delaware, I was like, there's no state taxes in Delaware. That's why they always advise people, if you're near Delaware and can have a usable address, to start your business out of Delaware because you don't have to provide state taxes. Because I got a sole proprietorship in North Carolina. These are things that I was like, how he get in Delaware? I thought the school was supposed to be in Philly.
Can I say this? I have some notes that I took.
I saw you take out your pen. I was so excited.
Okay. So go back with me. He said one day in 2014, a coworker came to him and said, hey, this particular HBCU that's in Virginia is on sale for $2 million.
Correct.
He said, gotta get that. He started getting donations. So that's 2014. We got rejected for that because we didn't have the money. So Chinese people brought it because we don't love ourselves and we would rather give it to other people, other races, but our own. And I'm like, okay, again, board of visitors. They might not have been all black. Okay, so then we keep going. Right? We in like 2015. He's looking at a school in Delaware, couldn't get it. Look at Detroit and was like, you know what? That's a great place. That's Motor City. It's black people for days there. I could do that. No Catholic church wanted to sell me day school. One said it had to go all the way back overseas and ask the Roman Catholic Church, couldn't get it. Mind you now, we should still be getting donations in, right? We should still be getting donations in. Then 2016, he decided to use all of his miles and start traveling the country to figure it out because we got to own this ourselves. We can't be like LeBron James and all of them and they just pour money in a charter school and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so we're still getting money. That's 2016. 2017 comes around and he sees these two buildings that they want $2 million for. Remember when in 2014 they wanted $2 million for a school. Now they want $2 million for two schools, and it's amazing. But I will have to wind up doing a lot of plumbing, a lot of electricity, a lot of HVAC, but they're supposed to be in perfect shape. That's what he said. It ain't in perfect shape when you got to get rid of stuff, but there's still donations coming in. You go to them, and they just happen to just say, you know what? We're selling it for $2 million. Oh man, I only got $500,000. We'll take it. Why from 2014 to 2019 you didn't have over $1 million worth of donations if you won't stealing it?
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out. Talking about they tore down the GoFundMe. GoFundMe is very specific, like about their rules. GoFundMe wants to know that the money is going for what the GoFundMe says. And if they take it down, like the company GoFundMe takes it down, it is because they have obtained information that says, hey, that money ain't going where you say it's going. Like, I've never heard of it.
Because he doesn't have an account for a school, for a business. He has his own account. And it's going in his account. And that's why they probably flagged it and took it away from him. Because you're not telling me that from 2014 to 2019, you didn't, with all the donations you said you was getting, you said they were killing it on your GoFundMe, your PayPal, all of that. And you telling me you didn't even hit $1 million? At 2019, all you still had to gather was $500,000.
And you couldn't get that?
Right. Or everybody was giving you $1.
I'm agreeing with you. What if he has all the strategical information and all of the Pan-Africanisms, as large as he says that it is? Maybe that's the reason why he said back in part 1 that all the Black diaspora needs to come together as one. Because maybe if everybody gave $1 in the Black diaspora, he could get this school. Actually, I'm gonna contact my homegirl that live in Delaware and ask if she know where Jamal's school is. Because when I was in Delaware, I ain't see it. So I want to know what the actual physical location is that's not connected to a PO.
Is it in Delaware?
He said I thought he said both schools was in Delaware. The middle school, what they working on now, and the high school is gonna be 4 times the size of that across the street.
Maybe he said that. I can't remember which one. I can't remember which one he what state he said they found those schools on.
Delaware.
Coco, I'm ready.
Oh Lord, Coco, what is it, baby? Shut up.
Is that a Pan-African flag on the grass?
Oh, will it let us zoom in? Coco, I love you. This is like so investigative. Okay.
And this is in what state?
I thought Coco was in Delaware.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, she typed it.
That looked like a factory to me. That looked like a warehouse. That don't look like that ever been a school.
Or an yeah, that does look like a factory when you look at it from that angle. Because even old schools got like some type of little field for the kids to run in.
Right.
Oh, Coco, that's why I fuck with you, because you be on it.
That's why it's always important for you
donate $1,000 for an Atlanta campus, but you don't have an initial campus. This is ridiculous.
$50 for school supplies for a school that ain't never gonna be open.
What else is on the website? And they got pictures of little girls, but he don't know.
Yeah, I'm confused. I'm confused. Is the school for all boys or is the school for both?
What's talking about new campus in Atlanta?
I thought you already have $500,000.
Will you fix the internet? The Wi-Fi is not working.
Who is this little white child?
I'm done. Hold on, y'all.
Hello, children of America. I realize that things have been a bit shaky with us grown-ups. Since COVID-19, Black Lives Matter, and these elections, it seems as if we have lost our collective minds or minds as a collective. So there has been a decision to communicate openly and honestly between both police officer and criminal. We have come to negotiated terms. Allow me to introduce you to Officer Bingo.
What the hell is that?
What is this?
Why is the criminal a raccoon?
See what I'm saying? This man is anti-Black. And I'm not going to ever get off of that. This man practiced white supremacy. He's anti-Black. I don't care what nobody says. This man is never going to open up a school. He doesn't know nothing about nothing.
My eye twitching. What is this?
He just sounds good when he's speaking.
Girl, what?
And Randy, the bandit.
Hey, kids. I know you have seen me in your neighborhood. Sometimes alone, or with my gang. Look, I'm not a bad person. There's a whole backstory on how I became who I am. Trust me, the government knows. But anyway, this mask I wear covers up a lot of pain and traumatic situations that a lot of people like me have been in has made us, let's say, impatient. But, for your future, we have decided to think of the quality of life of others. Not just for me and my crew. I'm not saying we will stop committing crimes, but we do promise to lessen the magnitude of our offenses to where we don't cause unnecessary trauma in your lives. We will also attempt to work things out with our rivals, instead of sending them up. Finally, you have my word and I apologize to you.
My name is Officer Bingo. I have served many years on the force, locked up a lot of bandits, and earned a lot of stripes. Just like some of you, when I was a little cub, I wanted to be a police officer. I had no idea. that the origin of this profession was immoral and was used to oppress people like Randy. When I first started this dream job, it was so awesome, riding with my sirens and sunglasses on. But after years of being exposed to the vile nature of human beings and being given unspoken permission to abuse my authority, me and my fellow officers have become a menace to your communities just as much as the bandits, if not more. We have both taken the lives of your parents and siblings. After doing a much-needed self-assessment, I have realized that the officers and the bandits are the same people in different uniforms. We both carry guns, and we both look at ways to advance ourselves off of the backs of the people in the community. So I vow to you that I will do my best to be a righteous person, even though all of us have an innate propensity to commit sin or break the law. In my position, there is more expected of me, and I vow to always remember that. I'm Officer Bingle, and I'm sorry for letting you down.
Obviously, this is a work in progress, but you can rest assured your parents and I are masterminding a better future for you as you sleep. So remember, get good grades and listen to your parents. Oh yeah, if you need help with tutoring, log in and sign up with ftmga.com. And always remember, life is better with a sweater. Until we meet again.
He say life is better with a sweater.
What the fuck was that?
That is the most scariest thing I've ever seen in my whole entire life.
Is this a cult?
Wait a minute, can somebody call the number and see how legit that is? Go back.
They probably closed right now. We're hot.
I wouldn't in my life ever work for that man. I'll put in the application. You think I'll get denied? I'm gonna put in an application.
Oh my God.
In the cafeteria.
And this can be, hold on, I'm not trying to work in the cafeteria. I got too many degrees for that.
Yeah.
That's the meeting. They have a meeting.
Oh, wait a minute. I thought you said that's what they were hiring for. I'm gonna say no, don't thank you.
But you can't even download the application because it said files coming soon. Yo, I wonder, can I star 67 that number? Hold on, Coco. Because I got to know. I'm too nosy not. Let me see, star 67.
What's the name of this school?
Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy.
6, 7, 8.
Yes, he couldn't choose.
7, 3, 4.
That's the first thing that pop up. That is crazy.
Wait a minute. 8, 2, 5, 5. I
This
just
is
want to know if it's legit. Hold on.
We so messy.
Hold on, wait. I had to mute. Wait a minute. I just want to know if somebody gonna answer their voicemail.
Is there a voicemail?
Why can't I enroll today? Why can't I enroll today? Where is the enroll button?
We're talking about how you have an attached area to attach to the application, but you don't have.
Yo. Please leave your message after the tone. That's a text now number. Did you not hear it? Do I need to call it back?
How can I don't see no buttons for anything but contacting and donating. Where is the button to get my child enrolled?
I'm just going to submit my resume.
Why is there no hyperlink right here?
I'm going to submit my resume because it has an area where you can hold on.
How can I enroll my child to be online tutored?
Yo,
and look how long school is open until 4:30 p.m.
Like, I can email y'all. Like, do I email y'all to get enrolled? Like, where's the enrollment page?
So you know what we have to individually do, right? Whatever we are deciding to tackle, we have to put it on our TikToks. Because I'm going to see how far I can take it.
Donate $25.
Where is the enrollment?
Updated donors.
Considering the fact that the school is supposed to open up on Kwanzaa.
Not Kwanzaa.
What is this Atlanta campus? I'm so confused.
Not Kwanzaa.
That's what he said. He said the first day of Kwanzaa. Like, that's not my fault.
Right, but he's saying on this, there's supposed to be online tutoring. Where's the online tutoring?
I am going to submit my. Y'all think I'm.
Why is his number not a landline? Alexa, turn on the light bulb. I'm trying to get a healthy thought. Why is it a text now number?
Where is my resume?
What is that? What? Oh God!
I'm sending it.
What does Jonathan Majors have to do? Wait a minute. Go back up. What they say?
Oh, these are links.
Oh.
I still don't see where you can sign up a child for tutoring.
That's a P.O. box. That ain't even an address. That's a P.O. box. But I saw Wilmington, Delaware. That's what made me question it. And then talking about personal donations to fit. Sir.
Didn't he say he raised $500,000?
Mm-hmm. He thought.
Girl, where is the link for this? Where is the link for Black folks spend $19 million a year on fucking Quaker oat grits?
Ain't that many people eating grits since they can't decide if they want sugar in them or not. That is not true.
I'm gonna Google. So I have already submitted. So since they had a link where you can attach stuff in, what I did was I attached my resume and then I wrote in the message box, attach resume for review. And we're gonna see if somebody responds to this.
Oh, it's gonna be from a Google email. Watch, it's gonna be a.
I can't.
If it says at Google.com, if it says at Google.com, I promise you.
Yo, I gotta get the fuck out of here, bro. I can't do this shit no more. I am unable to do this shit anymore.
Coco, for documentation purpose, I feel like I should call the number back so that we can get on the live that it is a text now number.
Look, I'm gonna put myself on mute.
Hold on, I'm gonna call on the star 670 because it's like now, sir.
Not star 67.
I did.
TextNow subscriber you are trying to reach is not available. Please leave your message after the tone.
I'm sorry, I was looking for Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. My bad, y'all. I left that on the voicemail.
Now, why you playing on that man's text app?
Like I said, it ain't like he got a landline.
Girl,
my mom still got a landline.
I can't do this no more. I cannot. Any final thoughts? Because I am over it.
So I want to let everybody know that is listening to this live right now on the YouTube. I want y'all to please go follow me on TikTok at Dear Red, because I have already put in my resume for the Frederick Douglass Marvin Garvey Academy. And I have all the credentials that they need for me to be a teacher. So we're going to see.
You know they're going to pay your ass at Cracker Jacks. You know good and damn well. He going to pay your ass in Cracker Jack prizes.
I just want to see how far we're going to take this.
Girl,
probably not too far. Probably about as far.
I would be astonished if they replied.
We're gonna give it. We're gonna give it a good 3 weeks.
I guess we'll do a check-in about this Umar school because
we're gonna have to. We know
it's looking real dicey.
Why he didn't get the roof done? Didn't he say they got brand new custom-made HVACs?
He said everything was good to go. It looked like he got some outside work to do.
That
sure
roof
does.
looks horrible, and those new custom HVACs can't sit on that
It
broken
needs to be
roof.
power washing.
Wow.
That roof don't look secure.
It doesn't.
Wow.
And
Oh
where
my
are
God.
these kids? But aren't these kids supposed to be staying at the school? Isn't it supposed to be like a school that they stay at? I thought that's what he wanted.
Please, God, no.
I hope not. I hope
And
not.
if I'm wrong, I will be happy to be wrong about that. But I thought that's what he was saying that he kind of wanted was like, like a boarding school type thing, like a private boarding school type thing. I don't know. Will the parents have to pay tuition or will it be free? Because none of that information is located on the website. Is the tutoring free?
Well, he got to provide the hyperlink to get to the tutoring option because we didn't see that either.
Okay. These are questions that you need to ask these people before you start donating money to them.
And somebody needs to answer my question about this Atlanta campus. Somebody needs to answer that question because he don't have an original campus. So how is he going to have an Atlanta campus? And why would he have an Atlanta campus when he is always spitting his hatred for the LGBTQIA community plus community? Every chance he gets, he is talking about our gay community. And I just really want to know if you're not invested in our gay community because there is gay Black boys as well. Since you're trying to help Black boys.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he go to Atlanta? The beautiful Black Mecca that a lot of our LGBTQI plus community resides in. See, what I want to say might be offensive. Let me shut up.
I already said from the beginning, I really don't care if anybody don't like what I say about this man because I ain't never liked this man.
Well, you have
so whatever I say. And if you want to defend him, be my guest, but don't come over to me.
Right.
Because what I will not do is have a conversation with a person that believes in the ideologies of Dr. Umar Johnson.
Did you hear all the stuff he said they was going to teach? Can we talk about that? Can we
astrology?
Not
astrology.
Astrology. He said astrology. Not astronomy. Astrology.
He did say astrology. He said that. I was like, oh my Lord, them cancers gonna be cancering now. Now he got a whole class about it.
No.
Every 2 weeks is gonna be a new astrological sign you learn about in their qualities and traits. I wonder if he's gonna teach them angel numbers too, y'all. Ooh, I wonder. When it's 1:11 p.m. in the afternoon, it's time for snack. We're gonna educate.
Oh
What is
111 mean? I can't wait. I promise you. I can't wait because you're saying that you're gonna open. If you look on any school's website, right, or their district website, right, they tell you who they are accredited by. What is this man's school accredited by?
He don't got no curriculum to be accredited.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't got that far yet. In the 9 years he's been collecting donations, he ain't got that far yet. I'm so done with this man. I did not enjoy my trip to the trenches. We will definitely do something more academic than this because I feel like I lost brain cells dealing with Umar.
Jamal.
But one thing that I can say that I learned from this experience, what I did learn is that I am a coon because I am educated. Because
but then he posted, so is the Coon Academy apparently?
Yeah, because he need educators to teach at the school. So I guess he's going to.
Aren't you trying to educate at the school? So
are you only picking educators that have a HBCU degree? Because I'm in there undergrad wise. I'm in there undergrad. Like he can't even stop me. Undergrad wise, I'm in there. Now he may say something about Regent because Pat Robertson, but that don't have nothing to do with me. Those teachers ain't affiliated with him. But what I'm saying is, how are you selecting your educators? Will they need to be licensed teachers?
In the state of Delaware. Yikes. Does the state of Delaware even require that? Like the state of Delaware, I'm pretty sure requires their teachers to be certified and licensed.
You know what? Since his school is tied in more to a religious base or spiritual base, you can supersede that. Because you don't have to. They would prefer it, but you don't have to. You just need a degree. And some of these schools that are religious will even have educators that aren't even degreed in an associate's level. So, we'll see.
Are we going to laugh or not about the fact that he thinks the Vatican shut him down? I was like, you are not Edward from Twilight. This is not what that is. This is not it. When you step out in the sun, you might glisten because you're a little oily, but not because you're a vampire. Like, you need to chill out. He really was like, the Vatican shut me down.
It's out there to get me.
Like the thing is, like, why would you think the Vatican would sell you a school?
I was trying to figure out what was his point of looking at Catholic schools. I was like, don't that really go against the Pan-Africanism? Like, why were you looking?
I think it was looking for buildings, and that building happened to be a Catholic school. But see, here's the thing, though. When these schools shut down for whatever reason, for funding or whatever, most of the time schools shut down for funding purposes, or they're not accredited, right? Mm-hmm. So the school was owned by the district. I doubt it very seriously if any of these schools in Detroit, in New York, that were Catholic schools, I doubt it if they were still connected to the Roman Catholic Church in the Vatican. I doubt that very seriously. You might want to talk to Detroit, itself, and see who owns the property. I don't believe nothing he says. Because he's a liar. And I hate that word, but he is exactly that, a liar.
When he said the man, I got to call the Vatican about this. Sir, how did you even get the meeting? I'm sorry, I hate to sound like that, but it's like you walked into a room and was like, I want to buy this Catholic church, even though I don't have all the money for the Catholic church. Wait, I got to call the Vatican about that.
Oh, no. Amanda, no. Because remember, let's go back to my note card. So he said around that time, which was like 2015, 2016, he said that he could be able to afford those schools because they were like $300K, which is confusing to me. If you had $300K back in 2016, why did you only just have $500,000 in 2017? So that's what I'm saying about where has the money gone?
I just, dear Lord, Black Jesus, please help us, because I'm having the hardest time trying to make sense of stuff that don't make sense. But you said do not yield to your own understanding, God, and I get it now. I finally get it, because this has been an entire clusterfuck of foolishness, and the three of them really sat there. That's right. They're sheep. They really will believe any man with a strong voice. Mm-hmm. But let that one who had the cast on his foot, let his mama raise her voice and be, I hate that bitch. Masculine. Like, come on now. Come on.
I'm telling you, the reason why Black people be so attuned to him is because he has power in his voice, and he sounds like he knows what he's talking about, because he knows certain words that those Black men who typically probably are still at that 4th grade reading level that he was talking about think that he's well educated. Everybody that has a PhD doesn't mean that they know what they're doing with that PhD. Let's put it out there. So I want to hear back about my resume since they didn't have an application for me to fill out.
You want me to screenshot the text now number and send it to you so you know what to look for? I'm just saying, just so you prepared.
Oh my God.
Your phone might say it's spam though.
And this is why Black people, we have to do our due diligence. We have to sit there, listen to a person talk to us and say, okay, this is what they're saying. Now let me go and see what else I can learn about this topic. And when you do that, when you step out of that and you step into your coon, because right now you're a Negro, but when you step out of that Negro and you step into your coon, then you can realize that he is trying to manipulate you and help you pay for his children so they can go to college.
He's trying to manipulate y'all.
Look, he manipulating somebody because they keep giving his ass money.
They keep giving him money. I would never give him $1,000 worth of nothing.
$1,000 to an Atlanta campus where? When there's not an original campus? Yeah, we're not gonna bypass that he said what he said on that website. What Atlanta campus? And then when he brought up, I had to hire a white man, and they got the job done in 4 months. When I was trying to help Black men, did you really, or did you want the Black men to do the work for free? Because I'm starting to wonder what those conversations look like, where it took you 3 years of not getting the work done because you allegedly claimed you were trying to help the Black people who didn't want to help themselves because of self-hating, and then you had to pay the white man to do the work. And we could have been done if we could have just got Black people to do it. But did you expect them to do it for free because you didn't have the amount of money that you claim you had? Because the Vatican called and said that we're not selling you our schools.
You preaching.
He is not Edward. I'm sorry. He wants to be Edward so bad. It's not fetch. Sit down, Jamal. It doesn't work.
It'll never work.
Does the Vatican have a number? Hold on. Alexa. What's the Vatican's telephone number?
The phone number for Vatican Embassy, located on Massachusetts Avenue Northwest in Washington, is 202-333-7121. It is currently closed, but will be open tomorrow from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
So he must have called the Vatican Embassy in D.C. that's in Northwest. That's who they must have called. Because she said Northwest Embassy ain't open right now, but they're going to open tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's what she said. So he must have called. That's it, y'all. He called the Vatican Embassy in Northwest. Yo, that makes so much sense now. That's it. My sister boyfriend drive for one of them embassies. So they got office hours. Coco, take a sip, baby. It's fine. It's fine. I'm cutting up.
I can't. I'm gonna have to go because I
appreciate y'all. I'm so glad.
Too much for me.
I'm so glad we did this together and like we all didn't have to go through this alone.
This was.
I was yelling at that computer screen, and my husband had to tell me, Ariel, you stressing yourself out for no reason. Just calm down. No, he gives me anxiety because Black people believe in what he say.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives me anxiety. And he uses his quote unquote power and his privilege as a man with an advanced degree and title to manipulate poor Black people who don't know anything about anything because of the schools that they came from. If you really was about helping your community like you claim you are, instead of you pouring all of that money into those warehouses that you brought that need to be power washed, you would have poured it into a community in one of these urban cities across the United States of America and help them be able to help these children with their literacy and keeping them out of the ADHD to prison pipeline, which is not a thing.
How many frequent flyer miles do you think he had? Like, I'm just saying. Like, what was he going before this? Like, that he accrued all these miles to fly across the country. I bet you he went to Vegas. I bet you did a Vegas trip, came on back, and he probably got a cousin in Detroit that let him stay with them so that he could ride the public bus over to these open buildings that were for sale. Well, he probably took an Uber, with the GoFundMe money. But that's neither here nor there.
I'm so done with y'all. I'm getting up off here because y'all look. Thank y'all for joining us. If y'all made it through to this point, look,
you're the best.
I hope your brain isn't as mush as mine is because I just. But all right, bye you two.
Bye y'all.
Bye. Have a good night.